Hello there, good morning, welcome to Wednesday here on Prime Morning. It's a pleasure to serve and I want to believe you're doing very well this morning. You're good, you slept well, you're ready for the day, you're in good spirit and you're ready to take over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, from now till 10, it's a pleasure to be here and to serve you. We've got so much to talk about today, but first of all, I'd like you to get interactive with us as I always say here on Prime Morning. All you have to do is to go on Facebook, like our page, share the page, and make sure that you're getting very, very interactive by sending your contributions to us here on the show. We're streaming live on Facebook, and so you can join us over there and share your thoughts with us. Our WhatsApp line is always active for you to also join us and share your thought. You can go on YouTube, and you can also go on X, of course, on Instagram. We're there. You can also join us over there and make sure that you tell the world that you're tuning to Prime Morning this morning here on Joy Prime. My name is KMJ, and I've got my queen joining me this morning, as always, Rosalind Felly, and of course, the Siedwa, the Golden Girl, will be here for us to run you through the day's activities and segments that we've got for you. But we've got something special that we'll be talking about, we'll be doing actually on the show today. I'll share that with you in a couple of minutes, but we'll begin this morning with what we call News Flash. It is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, still Phones Papa Pafi, and this morning we're talking about things that concerns us as Ghanaians. And well, there has been petition that has been sent to the president to remove the Chief Justice. Now, the president has also consulted the Council of State for them to actually begin the process and give him the reports. Based on the report that he'll be given, he'll be able to make a decision on that. But of course, I'm being joined.
No, I'm just going to ask you, like, do you think that they will have to make the decision? Do you think the president hasn't made up his mind yet?
Well, so the process is that the Council of State would have to give him commendation. I mean, and based on the...
So he's going through the process?
It's a process.
It's a process.
Yeah, and, well, it will also mean that the president may agree or disagree with them based on what they bring to him. So yes, the president may have his own decision in the Senate, but at the end of the day, it's what the...
But do you think that...
I don't think the president wants to take the ECG off. I don't think so.
Okay. But do you think the CJ will stay?
Well, it would depend, like I said, it would depend on what the committee will bring.
Do you think the committee will let her stay?
It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible. If they feel that whatever petitions that have been sent to her, and don't forget, it's by law. You're looking at Article 146, and you don't just go up and say you want to remove a CJ.
Yeah.
You know,
but that's a
even
petition.
The key amount, exactly. And the key amount that petition.
Yeah.
And the key amount of things that you can use to remove a CJ is when the person is maybe immobile, when the person is not of sound mind, and you can't say the CJ we have does not have that.
Of course, the CJ is of sound mind. Exactly. I'm just saying that, you know, for those who actually petitioned the president, these are people who understand the law very well.
Yes, but when we
talk about even the ECG, some of them were stating on some of them their claim was the inconsistency and all of that, which can also be used against you in a way.
No, remember that it was sent before and it didn't stand.
No, I mean, that's why they put walls together.
It was because it was under but really, it could still be the same as the president.
Exactly. So now we
also say that, well, I don't see anything of what you're saying, and so I don't think...
Well, like I was saying, there are new Council of State members, but hey, I just say that when it comes to things like this, we have the best people to make the decisions. We are media people, and so we can only talk about it. But the best people, that's the Council of State, will definitely have a conversation, and then they'll give a report to the president as to whether the CJ will stay or not. We don't know, but we've seen it happening in the past. It happened with the EC, you know, where it's an untouchable seat. It's supposed to be an untouchable seat, but it was touched in a way. The
president was sent.
You know, exactly.
And so
an auditor general was sent home. So anyway, but
we didn't have to get to this point, but really, it is what it is.
Yesterday, I had this conversation with my husband about it, and I said, who set the precedents? Because it looks like we are seeing these things because somebody set the precedents. And out of that, we as citizens will have to bear the consequences.
Yeah. It's not something good that has started. Even, I mean, the light of it is the termination of appointments and all of that.
If when
First
somebody
all,
came
exactly,
at a certain time and did not
and see
terminate
how rampant
appointments,
it has become right now. And so it is something that we're doing and we're not doing it right. And until politicians, understand that where we are going with these things will not help us as a nation, we'll just keep on having these issues happening.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something we need to, entertain. But we see it's going to be a rigorous process, by the way. It's not an easy process like a lot of people see it. It's not like, they brought it and so, and then it happens.
It's not easy. It doesn't
there
work
are chief justices that are even supposed to be appointed by the president for them to even be part of the Council of State to be going through all these processes. So it's a lot of things that will be happening. But let's see how it goes. We'll be looking at that this morning. And ECG, the struggling ECG, had about over 1,000 containers stolen, missing, if you want to put it, for want of a better word, at the, the ports. And if you calculate, according to them, one of them costs $500,000.
Yeah, it's over $200 million that's missing.
Exactly.
Over 200 million.
If you're calculating that, you can actually see the amount of money that we have lost as a country.
Over 200 million.
And it's crazy.
So I'm hoping that as they have promised that investigations are going to happen, as they have promised that they are going to make sure they bring the culprits to book, they'll also let us know who these culprits are. Like yesterday, when we woke up 2 days ago, we heard of one man who has become the talk of town, Kwabena Dubois. He's now the talk of town. Everybody seems to be talking about him. He has now joined the likes of Keno Foriata. So he's now very, very popular. We didn't even know him. So are we going to see more people becoming popular?
Yeah, I feel
overnight?
like he strongly disagrees with the processes that the NPP, former appointees are going through. He believes that it's
witch hunt?
It's witch hunting, and he never seems to answer.
Again, I'll say this. Talking about it being witch hunt, people are actually saying that why do we have the Attorney General coming to address the press? And thinking about it, this is what some people are saying. Now, the Attorney General is only addressing the press so that you get to know how dirty it is. So that one day you don't say that it was a witch hunt and they just went after one person named Kwabena Dubois because he did nothing, because he didn't know how dirty it was. Now we are seeing people that belong to the NPP who are even surprised, saying that, wow, our own person did this, and we were there on the ground doing the work, we didn't even have access to this amount of money. So it tells everybody that this is the rot. If it's really true, if found guilty, then this is really the rot. And so people don't end up defending what is indefensible.
Absolutely. And, the coming days, I'm sure, just like every other person has seen, it will be unraveling a lot of things.
Yep.
Because the NDC does not also want the oral to be useless, and so they will do everything possible to ensure that whatever comes out of the oral is, taken up and sent to the public for them to see. So that's what it is. So on this flash this morning, we've got that conversation coming up. And then we'll move on to some trends.
And we'll move on to some trends, of course, things that are trending. Yesterday, the rains were not good to us at all. Very, very terrible rains. We've been praying for rains, but not this kind of rains. And yesterday, I don't want to, be in the shoes of the management of ANC, because at this point, and even the insurance company that has insured ANC more, because at this point, the number of cars that have been destroyed, only God knows, because their solar panel broke onto the car, some of the cars that were parked on the compound. As of 12 midnight, we still had the fire service and NADMO working hard to get the cars out of that place. And so that'll be some of the trending issues. And of course, Kotoka is also experiencing some doomsday somewhere. And yep, we'll bring that to you as well. So today you have to stay glued to your television set, because what's trending alone will have like 20 stories. There's a lot that's trending, and I see Edward will bring you that conversation as well. And then sports will come your way.
Yep. Now
Nigeria seems to
will be coming through.
Nigeria? What's going on?
They're on the brink of actually losing out in the World Cup.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think they didn't play well yesterday, and it's becoming dangerous for them. You know, so let's hope and pray. You know, they are neighbors. We want to see them in the competition, and so we're praying that a lot of Nigerians want to also go to US as well. So let's see how it goes.
I'm praying. Listen, I think if there's any country I'm rooting for this World Cup, it's Ghana and Nigeria.
Yeah,
no other
we'd love
country.
to see them there,
yes,
you know, so we can still continue with our
Niger, Ghana, Jollof. You know, Charlie, I pray that they qualify. Though. I really do hope so.
They will. They will. And it's midweek.
It's midweek.
Got big interview.
Big interview is coming your way, and today we have Paulina Odro, and she'll be gracing our seats this morning for the big interview. We'll get to know everything about this wonderful woman. She's done so much in the entertainment space, in the counseling space as well, so you don't want to miss out on that conversation at all. We'll get to know how her journey has been and how she's been able to survive all the lows and gotten up. So be a part of our conversation. And you know, since it's Wednesday, so after Prime Morning, we have other things coming too.
Yep. Good stuff. I mean, we're talking about the fact that you need to make a change in your life. And so changes is going to be on this day in the afternoon. Make sure that you tune in and be a part of it. Now, today you're on the show as well.
We have a
bit later, we've got some surprises coming up. And we want you to sing to us, all right? So we're going to put a surprise on you, any of the patriotic songs. We're going to put them out there, and then you do a sing-along. And if you're able to actually do it and do it well, there may be something good for you.
I think that, you know, we have a certain crowd for trends, and I think that, you know, probably maybe during trends we can start, you know, that. You know, where you call in, and you sing, we will give you the song.
It's a patriotic song, so start listening to all the patriotic songs you have here.
It could be Yanara, Yasasini, Eabo, Zinzimba, Mojana, Nana, Numshegu, was it to Homayan, Edrumi, Neususu, Sebe, Beatuasu. This is the day. The Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah. I love that song. It's a beautiful song. Beautiful song. I love it. All right, so it could be any of them. All you have to do is to just call in, and then we'll give you the song. We'll play it, and then you sing along, okay? But maybe at a point, we just pull the song out, and then, if you're doing the right thing. All right? Okay, that'll be coming out here on the show as well, so do stay and be a part of it. Now, we're going to get into our account proverb of the day. Don't forget that we're still in the Ghana month. We're wrapping up this week, by the way, and so yes, but it's been a good Ghana month celebration. A lot have happened on the show, and I'm sure you've enjoyed every single one of them. So let's check out what our African Ghanaian proverb is for today.
It's not a Ghanaian proverb, it's rather a Nigerian proverb.
And because of Nigerian situation yesterday. All right.
Where you sit when you are old reveals where you stood when you were young. Where you sit when you are old reveals where you stood when you were young. That's so true. That's very, very true. But you know, sometimes, unfortunately, some people stand places when they are young, but they just don't make the right provisions for their future.
That's true. And then it becomes a problem for them in their old age. So think about it this morning as you begin your day. It should be something you'll be looking out for, all right? Great stuff. Now, we've got motivation coming up shortly. And then right after that, News Flash comes up. It's proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still. Good morning. Welcome to Prime Morning.
We do have a show for you. Enjoy the rest of the show. Mwah.
Hi there. Thanks a lot for staying with us here on Prime Morning, and I want to believe you're doing pretty well this morning. It's News Flash. It's proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phones Papa Path here. This morning we're entreating you to go for the best of quality when it comes to gadgets, and Franco Trading Enterprise is giving you even more than that. All you need to do is to walk into our branches and buy from us. We've got television sets we're selling, of course, refrigerators, air conditioning, CCTV cameras. We have phones that come Samsung, Nokia, Samsung, iPhones, and we're giving you a 40% discount on any accessory you buy from us. And that's what Franco Trading Enterprise is all about. Make sure that you walk into our branches, and also please do well to call the numbers you see on your screens. We remind you again that do not call any number you pick on social media. Make sure you're calling the number that you see on your screens, and ask any question you want to ask us. We'll definitely be there to take care of you. Franco Trading Enterprise still phones Papa Pafie. You can also download the app. It's the Franco Trading app on Google Play Store. Our website is www.francotrading.com, and you can check out our branches and make all the inquiries you can make once you're able to download the app, and also go on our website. Franco Trading Enterprise still phones Papa Pafie. And this morning we're elated to come your way once again, and we'll be delving into the newspapers, the front pages, what has been reported, and then we'll get into our substantive issues that we're looking at here on the show today. Make sure you go on our Facebook page. We're streaming live. You can drop your messages over there. You can also send your WhatsApp messages to us on our WhatsApp line and share your thought with us this morning here on the show. Now, yesterday, the rains came and the Kotoka International Airport had issues in terms of electricity. Now, there was light off and some passengers were stranded a bit. We're going to be looking at moving forward what we can do to make things of this nature not happen. And my guest in the studio will be sharing their thought briefly on that. But our major issues we're looking at this morning, there has been petition that has been sent to the president to remove the CJ. And this issue came up when the former president was in charge, and he said that they didn't have the merit to actually remove the CJ, and we're talking about the Chief Justice, Justice Leadership Tokonu. And then another petition came up again, and there have been 3 others that have come up. Now, the president has actually sent the Council of State to have a committee put together to ensure they go through the process of looking at what exactly these petitions are, and if indeed it merits any way of removing the CJ, then we can have that conversation. Now, we'll be looking at that issue here on the show this morning, and also about 1,300 containers that belong to the ECG has been missing at the ports. We're going to find out what exactly happened. Where are they? How did they get missing? Now, the Energy Minister, Honorable Jinapor, has been speaking on the issue yesterday on news nights, and also the former Deputy Minister for Energy also spoke about it as well, and he said that they're ready to help with investigations into that issue. He's also the ranking member in charge of energy at the Parliament Committee, and he says that he's fully in support of any investigation that will go into that issue, and he will be ready to actually assist in any investigation that will come out of that. We'll be looking at that issue also here. Now, the amount of money, if you put all of that together, that the country will be losing if we're not able to find this container, would blow your mind, and we'll take a look at that here on the show. But let me quickly introduce my guest in the studio this morning, and I've been joined by my brother, Mr. Richard Suma. He's here with us this morning, and he's a family here already. He's a leading member of the Movement for Change.
Yeah.
Rich.
Yes, sir.
I hope you're good.
By grace. By grace, all is fine.
You slept well?
Yes.
Or the rains didn't make you sleep well?
No, we slept well. It makes the weather a little bit chilly, so it's good for sleep.
It was important that we had that weather.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the havoc that it caused at the ANC is the one that we are a bit saddened.
Yes.
When the rains came, usually come to, we have lights out also coming in.
Yes.
Yesterday I slept in darkness by
that's sorry. Quite unfortunate.
I had darkness too.
Yes. Which is sometimes a bit of a dent on our international integrity, because in every civilized airport like Accra International, Kotoka International Airport, there should be an alternative power arrangement. That regardless of what happened, we shouldn't go blackout and passengers shouldn't be stranded because our main power supply is off. There should always be a proactive means of mitigating some of these things, because flights are moving based on schedule, based on time. So if check-in delays, obviously departure time delays, and in our first arrival, and almost everything is get congested.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Anyway, it's unfortunate, but we'll see what moving forward, some of these things can be done about some of these things so that we don't end up experiencing them. But let's look at the front pages of the newspapers. We're still waiting 2 other guests that will be joining us this morning as well. But Ghanaian Times this morning is reporting on a few issues. On the front page, it says National Education Statistics Report, and it says quality education fluctuates, though access to school increases in past 2 decades. And that's the problem we have with this free SHS. And we must be very blunt about it. You know, you can make a free education a quality education, and you can make it, not too quality of education, and that would depend on the kind of, effort you put into making sure that everything that will make the people get the best of education are put in place. And unfortunately, you have a lot of people having to go to school, but coming out with poor grades and not able to do good for themselves. And that's the problem that we seem to have with this. And that's the report that has come out right now. Access to education is increasing, but then quality education is fluctuating, and we don't want to be seeing things like these. Minister orders probe into 1.5 billion Ghana cedis ECG value containers disappearance, and that's one of the issues that we'll be looking at this morning as well. And it's got the Honorable Mr. Jinapor captured over there as well. 3 killed, 3 injured in Binduri, Ghana attack. Youth group calls for curfew, and suit against removal of IGP. Other security agency heads dismissed, and that's the Ghanaian Times speaking on that this morning. You remember that there was, a suit that was supposed to have stopped the removal of the IGP. Now, few days before that, the IGP was removed, and the case has been dismissed right now. And the back page says lack of psychiatrists affecting mental health care in Bono East region. Dr. Apia says so, and the 4 institutions sign MOU for competency-based training and recycling technology. That's also captured by the Ghanaian Times. So this morning, away from that, the Daily Dispatch is here, and it says that Ghana's inflation is uncomfortably high. Governor of BOG speaks on that, and 1.2 billion US dollars worth of gold left Ghana illegally in 2022. Out of Forson says so. And the doctors treating Pope Francis at a point considered ending treatment so he could die. And that's one unfortunate story that we have on the front page this morning. You know that the Pope has been going through, very challenging moment right now in terms of his health. And there have been measures put in place to make sure that he's healthy. But unfortunately, it's deteriorating. But we hope that the good Lord will take care of him. Now, the back page says Baumia donates 200,000 Ghana cedis, 10,000 bags of cement to doomed fire victims. And some George reviews Airtel Tigo is indebted to the tune of 3.5 billion. Ghana cedis. That's also the back page of the Daily Dispatch. Away from that, the Accra Times is here, and it says that rebuild in trust and hope. Barbing Tax Speaker of Liberia, and Mayor's inherited a Ministry of Communications. Some George weeps, and let's drive equity and inclusion in society. That's North Day MP says so. Minority courts, media, CSOs, and to rise up against intimidations. And Jomoro MP advocates for financial literacy for women, and it's got Honorable Dr. Afo Tofe captured over there. Last Ministry embarks on awareness campaign to protect forest and the environment. That's also captured on the front page of the Accra Times. So this morning, you can grab a copy and read about all of that. Now, Punch Africa says MP for Pru West cries for potable water for his people, and Honorable Emmanuel Kofi into Kuni is actually captured over there as well. AG drags 2 people to court over alarming scandals, and why is Addison and his lawyers quiet on the raid incident? DG actually questions. And also away from that, the Dagbon King wants the name of the Tamale Airport changed. Minority cries foul over national security operations, and Zoom Lion sets pace in informal job creation. That's also captured on the front page of the Punch Africa. The last one for me will be the Ghanaian Publisher, and it says persecution won't break our spirit. I think your marking tells President Mahama. and Attorney General under fire over public trial of Dubois. And the Baumia donates 200,000 Ghana cedis and 1,000 bags of cement to doomed fire victims. That's also been captured on the front page of the Ghanaian publisher. Sam George sacks 100 Ghana Post workers. That's also captured on the front page of the Ghanaian Times publisher. I beg your pardon. So most people will still say that the sacking of individuals in various public institutions still continues, but he justified this in the interview that he granted. He says that there's supposed to be some restructuring that is supposed to be done in that sector, and so is the reason why these people have been sacked, and also mentioned some of the misappropriation of funds over there as well. So yeah, that's what it is. But the official statement that was released by the ANC more with regards to the solar panel is here. Let me read that for you, for those of you who are a bit concerned about what's going to happen moving forward. Now, they said that we regret to inform you that not too long ago, the solar panel structure in our parking area collapsed due to heavy rain. Thankfully, no injuries were recorded. Our team, along with relevant authorities, is on site to manage the situation and ensure swift resolution. We sincerely apologize for any distress or inconvenience this has caused and appreciate your patience as we work to address the situation. Your safety remains our top priority. We will keep the public informed on any updates, ANC development. And that's the press statement that was released yesterday when the incident happened. And so for those of you who are worried about some of the things, that happened over there yesterday, you can be rest assured that they are taking steps to address the situation. Now, let's get into our conversation this morning, and I'll begin with the petition to remove the CJ conversation. And there's a press statement that was released by the presidency. So let me just read that quickly and then I'll go to Richard. It says that President Mahama consults the Council of State on 3 petitions for the removal of the Chief Justice. And it says President Mahama has received 3 petitions from various persons seeking the removal of the Chief Justice. Now the President has forwarded the 3 petitions to the Council of State to commence the consultation process mandated by Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution. And it was signed by Felix Kwakye Ofosu as the spokesperson to the President and Minister of Government Communications. Let me go to Rich. Rich,
yeah.
There has been precedents that have been set, and many people have made reference to it, that when the issue of the Electoral Commissioner came out, a lot of people felt that it was something that was not supposed to happen again in the first place, because it's going to make it easier for us to follow these tangents. And we are here right now with this. A lot of people believe that this CJ was going to be removed in the first place because of change of government. But did you see it coming the way it has panned out? 3 petitions to the president.
Once again, I would like to say good morning to all our charity viewers this morning, and to extend my warm greetings to Honorable Alan Chiramante, the beloved wife, and all the members of the Movement for Change, and a couple of friends, Nana Yadobia Sikapa, the Queen Mother of Akwemu Jekiti, and Belvin, and a couple of friends who constantly follow us wherever we go. Yes, it is not something new to start with. And we live in a country where governments go, government comes, and every government is looking at protecting their interests and how they can work effectively and deliver justice to the people. Now, we have all been in this country, and we know that the present Chief Justice was appointed by the previous president, Nana Addo Dankwa. Obviously, there was a petition from Professor Azan, which suggests that due to incompetence and a couple of other things that he suggested as the basis upon which you can remove a Chief Justice, he indicated that there are some rudiments of that, or some elements of those things in the behavior and attitude of the present Chief Justice. Therefore, there's a need for her to be removed. Now, obviously, the then sitting president wouldn't have done that, because when you do that, it dents his integrity. Because obviously, he appointed her, so if there are issues of that, you simply don't expect a sitting president to remove someone that he himself has appointed and place her there. In the case of Charlotte Osei, assuming Mahama was in power, there's no petition that will allow him to remove the lady from being the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. But because the government changed hands, it was easier for them to execute that plan. So now, this call isn't out of place. We would have only wished that we know the 3 petitioners. In the case of the one that came earlier on, we know who the petitioner was.
Yeah.
But in this case, we have actually not been told who the 3 petitioners are. We have just been told that they received some 3 petitions. Therefore, according to the Constitution, Article 146, that suggests that if you want to remove a Chief Justice, you must go through these processes by at least consulting the Council of State, and then the Council of State will form a committee, and the committee will be chaired by a Chief Justice, and then some other 3 people who are not members of the judiciary or the legislature or all these things to look into it. So normally, you see, we live in a country where the moment you see the storm or you see the clouds forming, you should know, obviously, it's going to rain.
It's going to rain.
You should know the end result. So the moment it has started, you see, NDC is caught between a lot of situations. Like, for instance, this oral thing. Oral has presented a lot of reports, and there are other cases of corruptions and all these things that they are looking into. And you see, the Chief Justice is the one who constitutes panels as far as sitting of the jury is concerned. So now, if you are going to have a Chief Justice that was appointed by the previous administration, and you are having issues with employees of the former administration, what would you expect? Definitely you will face some constraints, because she's the one who is going to constitute the panel to sit on all those cases. Therefore, the government in power today will do anything within their powers to make sure they have her replaced. Because that is the only way they can have the confidence that most of the cases they present to the court, the chances of them winning those cases are high. If not, they will empanel some judges that were all appointed by the previous administration. And if anything comes, you see, you always defend the master, as is always said in our local parlance. So if issues come and they are not able to look into it beyond the political lens and do a proper assessment of the situation and digest it properly and come to a conclusive agreement or finality of the case to suggest that the person is convicted or acquitted, then we are in a big problem. So sincerely, I am not surprised, and I saw it coming. So like you just asked whether I really saw it coming. Yes, I saw it coming, and I was expecting it, because we want to move the nation forward. We want to investigate issues of corruption. So if the Chief Justice that is there, well, it shouldn't be just out of assumption, but if there is a clear case of incompetency or misbehavior or any other thing, and they are depending on that to trigger her removal, that is not out of place. But if it is just for the mere fact of political coloration and inclination, therefore we feel that she was appointed by the previous government and we must also appoint our own Chief Justice, then a precedent we are setting, it is not absolutely good. But if on the basis of what the Constitution stipulates, that in the case of misbehavior, in the case of incompetence, for one, I don't know the definition of the incompetence that will be associated to the office of the Chief Justice. In all her delivery, what can be stated as an act of incompetence, or as an act of what? Misbehavior, or as an act of anything that will affect that clause to be triggered? Are you with me?
Yeah.
So obviously, I have not seen it. But maybe those who are doing the petitioning, they have a different lens from which they saw her services to the state. So if they are of the view, a confirmed view, that she has to be replaced, then for me as a citizen, I only want to sit back and watch. Because we want to build a country, and everybody is a citizen. Justice Tokono is a citizen of the Republic of Ghana. So if it is based on who appointed her, that one I would not call for her sacking or for her removal. Because you see, it doesn't matter who appoints you, because if not so, the precedent we are setting for this country is not good. Obviously, Mahama is appointing people into key positions. Therefore, when he leaves, does that mean that in the next administration of NPP or Movement for Change or any other political party, automatically everybody should be removed? by any means necessary? Is that the kind of precedent we want to set for this country? So I would not want to go on that path. But like I said, I will leave it for the legal eyes. The Constitution says that once the president receives the petition, he consults the Council of State. So we are now at the mercy of the Council of State. They have to come up with their finding and suggest that if there is any prima facie case that has been established sufficient enough for which reason the Chief Justice should be removed, then I will go for it. But then again, we also don't want to have a Chief Justice that will constrain the effort of this administration in punishing corruption. Because corruption is a cancer that has eaten deep into our society. That is why Ghana, we are always running in circles. We beat our chest, we beat our back, we praise ourselves, but we come back to the reality, realize that we are not moving forward really as far as other countries are concerned. Why should we have a country like Ghana that will be begging Burkina Faso for rice and sorghum and wheat and all those? It's quite demonic to have a country as big as Ghana that cannot feed herself, and you have to be depending on people. You see, all about leakages, so much wastage. So we need to find a way to curtail corruption. Much more serious punitive measure. That's why in the Asian countries, if you are caught for corruption, whoever you are, you'll be hanged. Because the punishment is so severe that many people just don't want to get corrupted. But here, you know that when you get corrupted, no matter what, plus or minus, it will be swept under the carpet for 2-3 years. We are still pursuing cases of corruption in the courts of Ghana, and we have not come to conclusion. Okay. So let us be fair in our mind and believe that Ghana needs to move forward. So if there has to be some resetting, restructuring, readjustment to make sure the right thing is done, for this government to be able to have a free way, operate, and prove to the whole country that we meant to fight and combat corruption, and we are doing it, and we are doing it right. I'm all for it.
Very well. Thank you very much. Let me go to Alhaji Mohammed Naziru. He's a senior communication member for the NDC. Alhaji, good morning. Thanks for joining us. And let me hear your take on that.
Good morning, and good morning to your cherished viewers. I want to believe that this country needs to move forward. It is high time we begin to, deal with issues as they are, and then the politicization of certain important issue leads to, in most cases, the dilution of the importance of the matter at hand. If you asked me, I would say that Article 146 of the Constitution has been tried and tested in this Fourth Republican dispensation. And there are many examples to set and arrive at a certain conclusion. If you take the fact that from Article 3 to 146, subsection 3 to 4, clearly stipulate how a justice of a superior court can be removed, or if you find something against that justice, how you should go about it. I want to believe in the case of the ANAS, one of his investigations, which led to the president then directing the Chief Justice to empanel members to do an investigation. I think it led to the dismissal of some judges at the end of the day. The goat yam issue. So clearly there has been precedents and it has been tried and tested. Now, when you come to the substantive issue we are dealing with, which has to do from subsection 6 to 10, the close example we can give to it is that of the Electoral Commissioner, which is similar to this situation. I would say, unlike the Electoral Commissioner's Charlotte Osei issue, where there has been a lot of hullabaloo about the petitioners. The names were given without faces. In this particular matter, you would realize that people who petitioned the president, went ahead to media to say that they have petitioned the president on certain issues regarding the Chief Justice. So clearly, it is in line with the Constitution, and the president has no, room for any dilly-dallying than to follow strictly what the Constitution says, to present the issue to the Council of State and subsequent actions. And exactly, I think that is what is happening now. For that matter, I would suggest that it is not just like the legal luminaries will continue to remind us in our legal jurisdiction, a person is not guilty until proven guilty. This is just an opportunity also for the Chief Justice to be able to explain herself on issues that have been raised against her. Now, we cannot all run away from the fact that until recently, the country was so worried, not less a person than the National Security Minister to the ex-Wall administration, raising concerns about the 909070 justice delivery that we witnessed under Madam Tukonu. And he raised concern that it is dwindling the hitherto progress that we've made in terms of our legal regime. We have seen a lot of cases. I can make mention of the Springfield issue where it was taken to our court, and just for us to be, smashed in the face when it was moved from our court to an international court, and the ruling they gave against it. In the case of Anas and Kennedy Atipon, we also how the court treated the issue with Anas. Went ahead to call Anas names. But when the case was moved from that court to an international another jurisdiction, the issue was different. So what is wrong with our courts? Are we not supposed to be concerned? My issue has always been the fact that, look, you might take it to be whatever you want to take it to be. But for you and I, who have nobody to talk for us, for you and I, who may not have any, big political structure or coloration, so that your political party can even come back and make some noise about it. What is your faith? If we have set our legal system being manipulated in this manner, what is your faith?
So our legal system is broken. Is that what you think?
Well, there has been several issues. I've heard legal luminaries, raise questions as to certain rulings that our court has given. I can make mention of this man with a very tiny voice. Is a lawyer. I've forgotten his name. Martin Pebu raised several concerns about certain rulings. I've heard many lawyers also raise several concerns. So that is clearly to tell you that there's something is not right. If something is not right, what you need to do is to fix it. And attempting to fix it would require that we follow due procedure and then go to what the Constitution says and then act by it. And I think that is exactly what is being done. My joy is in the fact that it is a very wonderful opportunity, having taken up this issue, for the current Chief Justice, Justice Tukonu, in the sense that she'll be given an opportunity to defend herself.
But do you see her being removed? Beyond every explanation she will give, do you see her being removed?
Well, it is the outcome of the investigation that determines whether she will be removed or not. I cannot be prejudicial in this matter, which is...
I'm asking because the president that has been set already. We know what the process has been over the period with the president that was set. Eventually, the person was taken off the position. Is that what we are likely going to be seeing again?
That is if
beyond every other.
That is if the Justice Tukonu could not and cannot justify some of the accusations on her. She has no option than to bow to the law and do what the law says, and exactly that will happen. But we are not there yet. Where we are now is where I continue to say my joy, that she will be given the opportunity to defend herself, and I hope she will be able to do that so that we move on.
Very well. Thank you very much, Alhaji. Let me move on to lawyer Kwesi Botwe. He's representing the NPP. And lawyer, I hope you're good this morning.
I'm very well. Good morning.
Great.
And apologies, it looks like I'm a bit late.
Yeah,
yesterday,
I'll deal with you later. When we are or you had doom so?
No, I didn't have doom so today.
Okay.
Today I didn't have doom so.
Then thanks be to God.
But because of the heavy downpour yesterday, I had to take my time in driving. So
That's no excuse. That's no excuse.
I was trying to take, safety.
That's no excuse.
Alaji Nasiru.
That's no excuse.
Alaji says it's not an excuse.
Now he's in government, so he lives around Rich, Cantonment, Lambonian, so he's close by.
The residence has changed.
But those of us coming from Amasamu and Pokwa, so we have to take our time when we are coming to, this part of town early in the morning. And so, apologies to our cherished viewers.
Great. Let me have your take on this. It is believed that there's a certain precedent that has been set, and it's the same thing that we're seeing happening with the CJ. Do you feel that we could have gone, or we could have dealt with this situation a bit different from what we're saying?
Yes, and good morning to you. Good morning to our cherished viewers. Good morning to my senior colleagues. I think that right from the onset, it was clear from the demeanor and attitude of our brothers in government that once they win power, they were going to oust the Chief Justice. In fact, if you monitor...
This was way before 2020.
Way before 2024 elections. In fact, if you had monitored some of the utterances and commentaries of our, their pundits, it was very clear that they had a certain... They were not happy, let me put it that way, with the Chief Justice. In fact, you may recall that Sam George, during his vetting, was even questioned about certain tweets and comments he had made about the Venerable Madam Gertrude Tokono, of which he couldn't substantiate, but he couldn't also, withdraw those statements. And so it is clear that some of them were not happy with their conduct. But I feel that we live in a democratic dispensation. We live in a dispensation where rule of law works. We live in a dispensation where anybody who is aggrieved by any person occupying any public officer, including the president, has the right to, trigger certain provisions of the law. But triggering these positions of the law or provisions of the law must not be done with any malicious intent. It must be done in good faith. I recall that right after the 2024 election, Professor Kweku Azar petitioned the president to remove the Chief Justice. And the president, in a very detailed response, clearly stated that a prima facie case could not be established against the Chief Justice. And so the petition could not even be forwarded to the Council of State for the advice of the Council of State and also the subsequent setting up of the committee to look into the allegations of the Chief Justice. And so I do not know.
It was believed that was so because the president was the one who put him there. So there wouldn't be any...
Oh, no, I do not think so, because if you look at the response...
And even look at the issues that were brought...
No, but if you look at the response of the president, it was a very... I think it was about a 6-pager, response. It was a very detailed response. And so if you read the response was very clear that Professor Kweku Azar couldn't substantiate the claims he made against the Chief Justice.
And they had no merit.
And most of the claims were also hearsay. When I was coming, I was listening to you, read out the statement by the respected spokesperson to the president, Felix Kwachiofosu. In fact, I do not know whether or not, maybe Alaji Nasiru will help us, whether or not a prima facie case has been established by the president before forwarding the petition to the Council of State for their, advice or guidance. Because if you look at the case of Ejechum versus Attorney General, which was held somewhere in 2006, the Supreme Court was very clear that the Chief Justice, first and foremost, is a justice of the Superior Court, the Supreme Court. And so when the provision of Article 146 is triggered, the Chief Justice must first be considered as a judge or as a justice of the Supreme Court before being a Chief Justice. And so it is very important to establish a prima facie case against the Chief Justice. Else, every now and then, people will be writing petitions for the removal of the Chief Justice, and these petitions will be forwarded to the Council of State, and subsequent committees will be set up every now and then to investigate or look into the actions of the Chief Justice. And if you do not get a Chief Justice who has a tough skin, it will destabilize, the Chief Justice, and, by virtue of that, may even destabilize our court. And so it is very important that a prima facie case is established against the Chief Justice before, a committee may be set up to look into these allegations. I do not know, because the statement clearly did not mention.
Yeah, none of those cases were actually
exactly. The statement clearly did not mention as to whether or not the president had established a prima facie case against the Chief Justice. And if the president did not establish a prima facie case against the Chief Justice, then I think that we are heading for an unconstitutional, we are heading on an unconstitutional path.
Ruling exactly. On the Chief Justice.
Yeah, exactly, because it has been established. In fact, in the case of Madame Charlotte Osei, the EC boss, in the case of, former persons of that position that have been removed. In fact, in all such circumstances, a prima facie case was established against these persons before subsequent decisions were taken. And so I think that the presidency should come out clearly. In fact, I cannot assume that the prima facie case has not been established by the president, and anybody can also not assume that the president has established a prima facie case against the Chief Justice, as is required by the case of Ajay Chum versus Attorney. In fact, Ajay Chum versus Attorney General is now part of our laws, because the Supreme Court, through their interpretative jurisdiction, sought to explain the provisions of Article 146 of our Constitution. And so it is incumbent upon anybody to respect the decision of Ajay Chum versus Attorney General. And so I would not say much about this matter. It is early days yet. I feel that the petitioners are acting within the confines of their democratic right. I feel that the president also has the power to receive such petitions. However, it is incumbent upon the president to establish a prima facie case before setting up any committee or forwarding the petition to any other person. And in fact, if you look at the provisions of Article 146, the Constitution requires that all such processes are held in camera. So you may recall that when Professor Kweku Azar petitioned then President Akufo-Addo to remove the Chief Justice, the president didn't publish anything until the official response from the presidency came out, because such matters are supposed to be held in camera, because we live in a jurisdiction where people tend to, prosecute or judge people in the media, even before the actual processes and constitutionally laid down procedures are followed. And so I really think that going through this process, we should all the stakeholders involved should exhibit good faith. And like Alhaji Nasiru clearly mentioned, the Chief Justice would have the opportunity to respond to any allegations that have been made against her person. In fact, she's even entitled to any counsel of her choice. But I am sure that the Chief Justice, who is well versed in the law, knows very well what to do, and
And Nasiru believes that under the former administration, our legal system wasn't the best. For want of a better word, he believed that a lot of cases that happened indicated that we didn't have the kind of legal system that we could have.
I disagree because you see, it depends on the perspective you are looking at this from. That's why even when you go to court, there are two lawyers who are all espousing the provisions of the law. We have the lawyer for, if there is a plaintiff or the defendant, they are all espousing the provisions of the law. But at the end of the day, the judge has the right and the liberties and the responsibility to determine what the right provision or position of the law is. And so to say that our judiciary in the last 8 years, or our judiciary under President Akufo-Addo has not been the best, I disagree. In fact, when I was working him, I heard him reference that lawyers such as Martin Pebu have. In fact, in the last 8 years, we all know the position of Martin Pebu, the respected Martin Pebu. We all know his position when it comes to matters of governance and what have you. We all know where he stands, and so
what was the position?
We all know. I would not say he's NDC, but we all know where he stands.
Is it that he's NDC or MPP? Between the two, or you mean to say he's an MPP?
Oh, I do not mean to say he's an MPP, and
so where does he belong? If he's not an NDC,
and I do not mean to say he's an NDC, but clearly from some of his utterances and some of his positions, he was tilting a bit against the opposition then. And he was a major critic of the government then. And I don't think that.
And he's doing the same thing today.
And I think that I don't.
He has raised several issues.
In fact,
he's doing the same thing today.
After his appointment as a committee as a member of the oral committee, I haven't heard him criticize the current administration. I haven't heard him. If he has, I haven't. I haven't heard anything of that sort. But you see, KMJ, I vehemently disagree that our judicial system has been compromised. I believe that our judicial system is one of the agencies or one of the best systems we have in West Africa and even in Africa. In fact, judges across the African continent come to Ghana to understudy our judicial system and how our judiciary works. If you look at the law reports, the judiciary have delivered very important judgments and rulings in recent times. And so I do not agree and I do not subscribe that the judiciary has been, have not been their best. And you see, KMJ, I'll use this opportunity to entreat all political actors that we can do our politics. It's very fine to do our politics, but let's take the judiciary out of our politics.
When the judiciary are proven to be more politicians than the political actors themselves, you cannot tell me we cannot discuss them.
Let me ask you. What I'm saying is that the judiciary is an arm of government that is supposed to deliver and administer justice. We can do our politics. Even the law requires or the law permits us to criticize the judgments of the judiciary. But these criticisms must be grounded in law and must be grounded on facts. But bastardizing our judicial system and politicalizing and painting persons within the judiciary as politicians and calling the judiciary as being political, I think that is a threat to our democracy. And that is a threat to our judicial system. Because our judicial, even in times of a coup d'etat, it is the executive and the legislature that is being, that is broken down. But our judicial system still works even in times of coup d'etat. And so I think that let us all try and safeguard the reputation of our judicial system. Because if you go to court, if I go to court on a daily basis, if you go to court, you are not asked whether you belong to MPP or you belong to NDC. The aim of the judge is to administer justice. The aim of the judiciary is to provide justice to all manner of persons, irrespective of your race, your gender, your political affiliations, your religious affiliation, or whatsoever. And so I am only advocating that we do our politics. We can criticize the judiciary, but you see, our criticisms should be grounded in law. Our criticisms should not be sentimental. Our criticism should not be based on sensationalism. Our criticism should not be tainted with, political lines and political colors. We shouldn't do that. Our criticism should be grounded and should be backed by the necessary facts. You can pick out a decision of the Supreme Court, point out what you think that is inconsistent with our laws, and criticize them. That is fair. But
okay, all right.
But KMJ,
to wrap up. We don't have much time.
To call out persons in the judiciary, and some even go to the extent of even threatening, insulting, calling them women organizers of a certain political party. That is totally unfair. It's totally unacceptable.
All right, very well. Thank you, lawyer. Let me move on.
Just a minute. Just a minute. You see, if you read the Constitution clearly, it's not a mandate of the president to establish a prima facie case against the Chief Justice.
I mentioned that.
It is not the president's responsibility.
I said in the case of a J. Chum, I didn't say it was...
No, what we are saying that, what he's saying is that, what my brother is saying is that, he doesn't know whether the president has established a sufficient evidence to suggest that what the petitioners are proposing is right. Therefore, he is now referring the petition to the Council of State for them to establish the committee. What Nana Rada did was wrong. The moment you receive the petition, it is not your responsibility. You have to direct the petition to the Council of State.
You mean the ex-president?
No.
When you say that, you mean the ex-president?
The ex-president.
I support this position because
that is what the Constitution says.
First of all, I mean, 146 Section 8 indicates clearly that all proceedings under this article shall be held in camera.
Yeah.
So you and I might not be privy to whatever is being transpired, except the players in that particular issue. And then you come to subsection 7. It said a committee appointed under clause 6, so to investigate the matter of this article shall inquire into the petition and recommend to the president whether the Chief Justice are to be removed. No, subsection 6. It says where the petition is for the removal of Chief Justice, the president shall, acting in consultation with the Council of State, appoint a committee.
Yes.
Do you understand? Consisting of 2 justices of the Supreme Court, one of whom shall be appointed chairman by the president, and 3 other persons who are not members of the Council of State, nor members of Parliament, nor lawyers. Yeah. So clearly, you could tell that by what the Constitution stipulates, the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, is following, religiously, unlike the position of my brother who is a lawyer. He is supposed to know better that establishing the prima facie case in this matter would largely depend on the constitution of the committee and what do you call it, the Council of State. And that's exactly what the President has done.
Okay. That would trigger into
we'll have to move on to our next topic.
For clarity, if you look at, when I was speaking, I laid a foundation. But for clarity, if you look at Article 146, Clause 3, and with your permission, I'll read briefly. It says that if the President receives a petition for the removal of justice of a superior court, other than the Chief Justice, or for the removal of the chairman of a regional tribunal, he shall refer the petition to the Chief Justice, who shall determine whether there is a prima facie.
Exactly. So that's not the responsibility of the President.
I made the case that...
But that she is not a superior court. She is the Chief Justice. And the article you just read clearly...
That's why I referenced the case of Ajay Chum versus Attorney General. If you look at the ruling of Ajay Chum versus Attorney General, the basis for which that case was dismissed by the Supreme Court is that the President then failed to establish a prima facie case, because I have already told you that the Chief Justice is a justice of the Superior Court before a Chief Justice. You understand? And so it is incumbent upon the President to establish whether or not there is
the procedures are not the same in those cases.
No, that is the position of the President.
So you mean that that applies to
all of us here, KMJ, all of us here may disagree with the position of the court in the Ajay Chum versus Attorney, but that is the position of the Lord. You can't do anything about it.
Okay.
And that is why I referenced the case of Ajay Chum versus Attorney General that the Supreme Court has suggested and has stated clearly that if the President receives a petition for the removal of the Chief Justice, it's incumbent upon the President to determine whether there's a prima facie case. You see, my brother Alhaji Nasiru mentioned that both of us were not there, and so exactly. And that is why when I was speaking, KMJ, you recall that I referenced the letter Honorable Feliso Fosu-Kwachi put out, that the letter was silent on whether the prima facie case has been established or not. That is why I said that I cannot assume that it has been established or it has not been established. But what I'm saying is that that is what is required to be done. And so if it has not been done, then it means we are heading on a path of
all right. Just we don't have much time today, so let's move on.
The Constitution does it. That is why Ajay Chum versus General has.
I'd like us to take a quick comment on the light situation that we have right now. So let me start off with Naziru. Remember, Suma, you have commented on the Kotoka Airport already.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So let me have your take on that, Naziru. Yesterday, the rains came and then the airport, we had doom so over there for a while. Why are we suffering this as a nation? Your government is in power now.
Well, I've been reliably informed that is it one of the what do you call it?
Transformers?
No, not transformers. The companies on the oil field have pulled out their production of gas to what do you call it? To our generation power.
The thermal plants.
The thermal plant. And I think the Minister of Energy himself was saying that this would further aggravate the situation that we are facing already. The fact that we are seeing light out at one point or the other is not new to us. I mean, this has been persistent until we took over power. I think, if I remember very well, the Minister of Energy getting to the tail end of the debate on the budget, I mean, raised and gave us vivid examples of where power outages, some up to 700 megawatts, were taken off because we cannot generate our capacity. For now, the situation, according to the Energy Minister, is under control. All we need to do is to ensure that we put in place the necessary mechanism and generate the enough money to ensure we continue to power our generators. He made mention of the fact that Kumasi issue, which was very dire, has been, solved as he speaks as of yesterday. And so all the other places we are facing.
But for international airport like Kotoka to experience this, there's no standby generator that we can have. How many years have we had Kotoka International Airport be in existence now?
But that is how low the corruption that we witnessed, unprecedented under the previous administration, has taken this country. And that was what our complaint. Not only Kotoka. You go to the Flagstaff House today, and I was so shocked the last time I was passing by last week to see the greens, the grass being watered. I've not seen that for so many years. I was even thinking all the system.
The one in front of the Flagstaff House.
The Flagstaff House. I mean, you could see how the weeds have grown and nothing is being done about it. But
I've also used that place and I've not seen the grass over there go that bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, it was.
You're talking about the one inside?
No, outside, just by the, what do you call it? By the road.
The roadside?
Yeah, the roadside. You could see now they are being watered.
And it's because NDC is in power?
Not because, it's because somebody is concerned and the corruption levels has gone down. We have issues with our hospitals. I mean, looking for incubators, looking for dialysis machines, whatever, everything going down. I mean,
so they were responsible for what we've seen at the Kotoka International Airport as well?
If Kotoka International Airport was supposed to raise money, and one of the ways they could raise money is when, during the COVID, they had an opportunity to raise money from the charges they will make, and the charges will end up in private hands and will not go to Kotoka International Airport. How do you expect them to have enough money to even have a standby generator that is continuing to run? I mean, those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. And if you speak, they want to make it as if you want to drag it into politics. But those are the realities. Those are the realities. This country sank so low to the extent that you wonder what the government then was thinking and what their plans were to ensure that this country moved forward. I have continued to say that this country has moved backward down 30 years. Because some of the things we used to see in the 80s where people will resort to gari and water, where people will resort to, I remember there was this plant we call Boko Boko, where people were in the 80s. Yeah. I mean, those are the things that we resorted to in this day and age, where Ghana is producing oil, where we have unprecedented production of gold and stuff like that. These are money-making commodities, and why should we reduce the country to this level? And it's as a result of the unprecedented corruption that we witnessed under the 8 years of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
What are you doing for this not to happen again? Your government is in power now. You've just been.
I mean, the government has stated clearly. I mean, you could see the initiative of the energy minister. One of them is to ensure that, well, I don't think if we will discuss it, the issue with ECG and the loss of about 1,500.
It's part of our conversation,
yes,
but we need to finish.
Those are the things. If we are able to recoup all those money, the country will continue to run. I mean, we'll put the country back on system, and things will be resolved very soon.
Okay.
No,
you can tie in the ECG issue as well.
Yeah, just a quick one. Just a quick one. You see, I do agree with my brother that there may be issues of power generation, supply, gas shortage, and all those things. But you see, In every civilized jurisdiction, we need to be very proactive and understand what are our key areas that may dent the integrity of the country. Therefore, from the very inception of the construction of the Terminal 3, there should be adequate standby plants that can power the entire Kotoka. Should they be... Look, we have situations where an entire country can go off. It happens in other jurisdictions. The entire country goes off. But at least your airport, hospitals should be running.
Essential places.
Essential places should be running. So all I'm trying to say is that we should be more proactive. We should be visionary. We should look beyond today and be able to think into the future. But that is always our problem. We find it difficult to think ahead. So we wait until something happens before we start looking for who to blame and who not to blame. So I'm only appealing to the NDC government that ASAP, they should zero in on how they can provide an alternative power supply for Kotoka International Airport and our major hospitals. So that in the cases of Dumso, you don't find doctors using torchlight to be conducting operations. You see, it doesn't make sense in the 21st century after 68 years of independence that we keep beating our chest and saying we are the gateway to Africa, gateway to Africa, gateway to Africa. We are here, we still can't even feed ourselves. So what is the essence of this gateway to Africa slogan that we have been always parading ourselves with? We may wake up one day and the gate to Africa itself will be closed. So now, my issue is that what happens why a container that is meant for a state agency as Electricity Company of Ghana, they say there were about 2,400 and something containers that were declared. Now, upon an audit, it has been revealed that about 1,300 plus is missing. Is it not a systemic corruption? It's a systemic corruption because, you see, why should even those containers be stacked at the port in the first place? Why should they be stacked in the first place? So, you see, we need to have priority, scale of preference to understand that because the energy sector of this country is a key sector to industries, everybody that will operate needs power to operate. If you want to industrialize, how do you industrialize when you don't have enough power to power your industries? Well, how do you do that? So, if this quantum of containers can get missing, then that means that we have been killing the nation slowly. Both politicians and public servants, they have been killing this country slowly. And at the end of the day, they turn around and blame the politician. So if you want to delve deeper into this thing, I wouldn't be surprised that operators within the ECG who may not be politicians may have something to do with these missing containers. So all we are saying is that once containers are coming, you know they are for Electricity Company of Ghana. These goods are coming, they are for the Ghana Water Company. These goods are coming, they are essential services that the country needs to run on. Why should they even be kept at the port for even more than 30 days? Now, they are saying that there used to be a fund that when revenues are coming, they put some of these funds into using for the clearing of those containers. At some point, they stop putting those funds in there because there's no money. There is no money. So how do you tell me that there's no money to clear cables, to clear transformers, to clear this? Look, KMG, sometimes I pity the kind of country we are living or going to bequeath to the next generation. The people who are like 10, 15 years coming, what kind of country are we bequeathing to them? What kind of country? Because don't forget, now they are saying that they even merge the procurement department of ECG to the real estate department. How do you do that? How do you do that? That means that there is no proper scale of preference. There is no scale of priority list. If there is a priority list, the procurement department of ECG should be a standalone department. You shouldn't merge it with any other department. I hear the minister is saying they will decouple it and let them become a standalone department to look at clearing things quickly, because the systemic corruption in Ghana is killing us and we need to do something about it. If not so, one day this country will just trigger a fire like that and to quench it will be difficult. That's all I can say.
Okay, very well. Now, it is believed that about 1,350 of them, now each of them is valued at about 500,000 US dollars. If you put all of them together, we're looking at amount of money that is missing actually is 675 million US dollars. Now,
and
yesterday,
the liability, we're talking about $1.5 billion. 1.5 billion in terms of the total liability.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what we're looking at right now. But yesterday, the minister had a conversation on Asempa. Let's take a quick listen to it, and then we'll come back and continue. I'll take the thoughts of lawyer as well.
Yes, the state committee. Clear containers, because about 2,500 containers there. A dozen. Now, demo regional so. Na echo. Revelations no HSS no more 2,495. Sometimes the 2,500 containers. And demurrage of 1.5 billion are echoes from the doors. Now and a committee in the day or more and more every day. It's shocking, honestly. Very, very shocking. About 1,350 containers. Ira.
Hey, containers.
Containers, full containers. Over 1,350.
A good port, honor. Now there's a port security or honor there.
That is the point. ECG records shows the containers our ports. Stock taking at the port over 1,300 anyhow. Containers, they don't send you mood. You can't do the show bottom now, the alpha baby. So, how those containers go missing and cannot be accounted for now? It's a very serious matter. It's a very, and we'll get to the bottom of this matter.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, sir, when the new government took over, of course, at the time, inventory, who containers are go, meboa.
Okay, so that was on Asempa yesterday. Now, speaking on News Night yesterday as well, the Honorable former Deputy Minister for Energy, also spoke about the same issue. Honorable Collins Aduma-Mensah. He's also the ranking member for Energy Committee in Parliament. He also spoke about it, and he says that, and lawyer, he's an NPP, and he says that he's ready to assist in any investigations that would make sure that these containers are recovered from wherever they are.
Yeah. So I think that first and foremost, I support any call for investigations into this matter. But you see, I have a problem. And my problem is that sometime on the 24th of January 2025, and in fact, this is my joyonline.com, your affiliate, and then you read, the caption is, Energy Minister inspects uncleared ECG containers at Tema Harbour. And it was published at 12:06 a.m., 24 January 2025. I'm just reading the first paragraphs with your indulgence. The Energy Minister, John Abdullahi Jinapor, has conducted an inspection tour of the Tema Harbour to assess the status of approximately 2,500 containers procured by the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, that remain uncleared at the port. And in fact, there is a picture here of the respected Energy Minister at the port inspecting these 2,500 containers. And so, KMJ, I have two questions here. One, in fact, after this visit, the Energy Minister went to Parliament to inform Parliament that, indeed, there are some 2,500 containers at the port belonging to ECG that have not been cleared. And so he went to brief Parliament on the progress of this whole matter. Now, 2 months down the line, the Energy Minister comes to tell us that per a report by the ECG or whatsoever, it has been discovered that about 1,350 containers have gone missing, have vanished into thin air. Now, my first question to the Energy Minister is that on his visit to the port on the 24th January 2025, did he do a thorough work? Did he do a competent work enough to establish on that visit that the containers there were 2,500 indeed? Or on that day, he just went to see the containers and then went back to his office to enjoy his air condition? Because if he did, then I think that by now the Energy Minister should even resign or should be suspended for investigations to take place. Because KMJ, we live in a country where a sector minister, you come to tell the whole country that you've gone to inspect 2,500 containers. In fact, if you do not know or you do not have any credible information about the containers, you do not come out in the first place to tell us that the containers were 2,500. But you come to tell the whole country that you have gone to inspect containers at the port, counting to about 2,500. And then 2 months down the line, you, the same person, come to tell us that about 1,350 containers have gone missing. KMJ, this is ridiculous. This is extremely unacceptable. And in fact, I even wish that it's not the Energy Ministry that conducts investigation into this matter. The National Security should be concerned about this issue. The police service should be concerned about this issue.
Do you think that the minister did a bad job?
Of
in
course.
Assessment of
on the basis of the information we have. Because on the 24th of January, you come to tell us that there were 2,500 containers at the port.
The report.
Per your visit. No, per his visit. I'm not talking about the report here. Let's not twist the fact. The minister visited. In fact, there are videos of the minister reporting to Parliament that he had visited the port and is aware of some 2,500 containers at the port belonging to ECG that have not been cleared. And so he was informing Parliament about the situation. The answers of Parliament clearly captured what the minister has said. What the minister said. 2 months down the line, this same minister is informing us that 1,350 containers have vanished.
It's not possible.
Have gone missing.
If I've gone to make assessment of a certain container, and I know this is also amount of it, and I go back again and I realize that the number that I counted are not the same number that is there.
The briefing he got was that this is the quantum. That's why he established the committee to look into it.
No, I'm not.
So it's not possible.
I'm not talking about the briefing he got. What I'm saying is that the minister visited the site.
Correct.
Upon the visit, the minister disclosed that the containers were up to KMG. Let me break it down for. Let me break it down. KMG, you are the minister.
Would you expect to
You've gone to the port. Wait. Okay, you've gone to the port. You've been told that, there are 10 cars belonging to multimedia. You come and sit on Joy Prime to say that, I've been to the port. There are 10 cars belonging.
That's the briefing he got. That's the briefing I was
talking about. The site.
Yes, but visiting the site and visiting the site and getting the briefing, they are two different things. So if I visit the site, KMG, people come and give me briefing of what is there.
The site that gave him that information. Which shows
containers are not stones. If you go to the port and you see containers counting 2,500, or you see containers at the port, and you have been told that these are the containers belonging to ECG, and you have been told that these containers are 2,500, and let's just say 1,300 of these containers were not part of the 2,500. So won't you see that these containers are not up to 2,500? Anybody will
should have counted them.
No, I'm not saying that he should have counted, but anybody will say.
How can he just look at them and say that?
Oh, of course.
He said it's 2,000.
1,350 is not a small number. The minister would have known. And so if you are saying, or if we are saying that the containers got missing within the last 2 months, then a cause for a thorough investigation that even the minister himself must recuse himself to allow for a free and fair investigation of this matter. Because we cannot allow taxpayers' money of about, he said amount to how much? About $600 or something billion just to vanish into thin air. This cannot be acceptable. It is too early for such scandals to happen under Alhaji Nasir's government. It is too early, too early. 3 months in office, and the state is already losing
the scandal and say it's happening.
3 months already. Exactly. This is this on the screen?
Yeah, this is when he went there too.
So the minister.
So in your opinion, he did a bad job.
He did a shoddy job.
Okay.
He did a shoddy job. If the minister failed to assess the critical situation on the grounds upon his visit, then I think that the minister did a very shoddy job.
After his visit, he set up the committee, isn't it?
Yeah. So
to do the same thing you are asking him to do.
Even
the committee gave him the exact of what is transpired, and he's acting on it.
Even the essence of the committee was to look into how the ECG can clear these containers. Okay, and then the committee comes to tell the minister that, Mr. Minister, when you went there, the things you saw were not 2,500, but were rather were short of 1,350. And I'm saying that, so if the minister had gone there, the minister could have seen or could have realized that these containers cannot be 2,500. KMJ, they cannot be 2,500. And so the minister himself, the minister himself should recuse himself for investigations to take place. A very transparent.
Okay. They would have packed 2,500 containers of ECG at once. Specific locations.
Please, let me get some messages. Let's engage our viewers. But a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise this morning. Here on Newsflash and Franco Trading Enterprise. Candice Kedisi will bring you Newsflash this morning here on Prime. And I'm going to be engaging some of the messages that have been sent to us by our viewers as well. And then we'll come back. We'll do a quick 1 minute wrap up, and then we'll be done for today. This one. Okay, let me go to this. Okay, let me go back a bit. Oh boy. Okay, I think we're having difficulties with the messages, so let me just get back when we're able to retrieve them. We'll read the messages that we have this morning. Now, that's real.
It's quite unfortunate. This is a very important matter. I mean, it shows the level of corruption, it shows the level of laxity that has seen this country, I mean, continue to go low below. And for my friend to just decide to, reduce this whole important issue to petty politics and begin to conjure issues and suggests that people should rather focus on that rather than the fact that these containers, having been imported into this country under the administration, has been left at the port to rot when the ECG would require them to continue giving us the power that we require. We are today talking about Dumsor. Dumsor is as a result of, variety, several issues that needs to be fixed together. Our power continue to run. And these are some of the things that will require, it is not there. And people will begin to blame this government that why didn't I have power? When indeed, it is the taxpayers' money that was used to purchase all these items. It was supposed to be cleared. It wasn't cleared. For what reasons, we don't know. And we sit here to begin to blame that, well, if you went there, you see 1,500 and you say it's 2,500, that should be the issue. Are we serious? I mean, let's get serious. This is a serious matter for me to, by now, the national security or investigative bodies should quickly jump in and let's begin to zero on how things, got to this level. I mean, that is what we should be hearing this morning. I agree. I mean, the Minister of Energy would have no problem. I mean, he instituted the investigation to unravel the situation. So if you want him to stay out and you have an investigative body to continue, let us do it. But anybody who is found culpable, and the security, our apparatus goes to pick that person, you shouldn't come here and be blaming us for witch hunting and doing things unlawful. Because these are people who did not care about this country, who did not care about the laws of this country, and have acted whimsically and capriciously to satisfy their own parochial interests. And for that matter, they must be treated as such. That is my position.
Okay. All right. This one is from Honorable Akisime. It says, good morning, KMJ. I strongly support the petition to remove the Chief Justice with the 3 petitions already received. It's clear that there are serious concerns about the Chief Justice's conduct and ability to perform her duties. Now, as outlined in Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution, the removal of the Chief Justice requires a thorough investigation and due process. I urge President John Mahama to carefully consider the petitions and consult with the Council of State to determine the best course of action. It's essential that our judiciary maintains the highest standards of integrity, accountability, and transparency. If the investigations find the Chief Justice guilty of misconduct or incompetence, then removal from office is the necessary step to uphold the integrity of our judicial system. All right, Nasiru, let me take your quick comment on that, and then we'll wrap up. Okay.
I think Alhaji Nasiru just spoke. So, KMJ.
No. Sorry, I meant Suma, you done?
No, just a quick one on the issue of these ECG containers and these things. You see, respectfully to submit. We are talking about containers that came to the shores of Ghana prior to the 2024 election. How come these containers got stuck at Jinapor? If we use these containers as an essential service supplier, which is ECG, the containers are meant for them, isn't it? Why should it even get stuck at the port and demurrage is even affecting them? All I'm saying is that Tema Harbour is a small enclave that you cannot pack 2,500 containers of ECG alone at one specific jurisdiction or enclave. So obviously it will be difficult for even me, Richard, if I'm the Minister of Energy and I'm doing an inspection and I go to Jinapor and they say ECG containers are here, they amount to 2,500. It will be difficult for me to just use my eye to determine that if you say 2,500, I assume that it is less. So that's why he did what he did by then now constituting a committee to look into why was it even stuck there in the first place. How do we get them out? Then the revelation came that some have even been what? Gone. They are mixing. We can't find them. So now you see, Ghana is a country where we were in this country, KMG, when they said some containers have been found with gold and dollar and all this. You remember?
Yeah.
And they say there's an allergy behind it. Up to now, have you been told who the allergy is?
No.
Have you heard anything about that investigation again? This is who we are. We talk, we praise ourselves, but we do little.
Okay.
So we just expect that some of these things going forward shouldn't be happening. Container meant for Ghana water should be cleared. Container meant for Kotoka, for Kolebu, ECG, Konfanoche Hospital. All these things we prioritize because why, are we not owning the shipping industry in Ghana? We are not having any control. There are some goods that even they land at Jinapor, within a matter of day or two, they should be gone. Because we know they are for essential service providers. But we wait and wait and wait. We are waiting for money to pay the same government before you clear the goods.
And the good containers are missing.
Get us missing, and the containers are for government agency like ECG. Oh, come on, we are not serious.
Okay. I'll come. Let me do this one. It says, Master Planner Junior from Jinapor. It says, on the 7th of January 2025, just some few minutes after President Mahama was sworn in, the Honorable John Jinapor told us that President Nana-Addo left us with only 5 hours fuel generation, and so the whole country power was shut down after 5 hours. On the contrary, the light was on for more than 5 hours. So in this next interview the next day, he quickly changed the 5 hours to 3 days. It took us more than 14 days, but the lights were still on. It was clear that his claims were unfounded and skewed just to prepare the minds of Ghanaians ahead of their doomsday. Today, another story is in. Containers have started flying from the port. The question is how many containers were shipped in, and is it not amazing? The minister will visit the port and will not be able to get the total number of containers before leaving. Then what was the essence of the inspections? Where is the oral committee? Where is the Attorney General? No be jujubi. That's Master Planner Junior in Jinapor sent in that. Do 1 minute for me and let's go. Our time is up.
KMJ, you see, let's not try to justify the alleged stealing of these containers by saying that the containers ought to have been cleared. Yes, I agree that they ought to have been cleared, but that cannot be the basis for anybody to allegedly steal, these containers belonging to the state. KMJ, doomsday is a worrying situation. Currently, parts of this country are experiencing doomsday, and that is not even up for a debate. Yesterday, we saw what happened at Kotoka, and it wasn't just Kotoka, it also happened at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Yesterday, part of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital for about 2 hours did not have, electricity, including departments, including the maternity, ward, the entire maternity department was down without electricity. And so I think that this is a very worrying situation. The government should be interested in solving the challenges of doomsday. The government should stop the lamentations and solve the problems of doomsday. Alhaji Nasiru mentioned that this nation have been sent back for 8 years. And
30 years.
And so that is, you see, when persons in government, have the opportunity to speak to the nation, they should seek to address the concerns of the nation. The lamentations will not help us.
Okay.
This is why you are in government. Bring us solutions. You promised us that cost of living was going to go down. You promised us that you were going to reduce inflation. You promised us that you were going to do so many things. And you see, the things you promised us, the Ghanaian people are expecting you to deliver on your promises. The politics of promise, win and shift, I have always maintained that must end. The commitment you made in your manifesto, please start delivering those commitments. And the cause that, it's early days yet.
They have a 4 years mandate.
They have a 4 years mandate and whatsoever. All those calls are unwarranted and unjustified. In fact, the president promised that in the first 120 days of his administration, he was going to cause magic. We are more than 60 days into his administration. We are expecting some of the things he promised us, that the cost of living was going to be reduced. Today, if you look at their budget,
120-day promise
has been met of the NDC. After every 3 months, tariffs are going to be adjusted, and the possibility that they are going to be increased is high. You see, Galamsey is on the rise. We need leadership in this country to stop the menace of Galamsey, to stop the Doomsday challenge, to reduce cost of living. We need leadership in this country. These are the very things
that
that
exactly why the leadership to stop Galamsey. And I'm happy today you are telling us that there is Galamsey. And so that'll be power. You said there is no Galamsey. Today you are telling us your insincerity will not even make Ghanaians take us serious. But for us in English, you say granted without admission. I say what is serious and important for us is that in 100
that's what I'm saying. Let me. So there's a final message that I have over here. The microphones are off. There's a message here. This one says, and it's coming from Mensa Majid. It's from Bechem, Toronto. And it says, my regards to Honorable Ishaq Daud, popularly known as Oluman in Sutifi South constituency. A group has petitioned the president to remove the CJ. It's a good call, and I support it. The current CJ has shown her political callous, and she doesn't deserve to be maintained as CJ. Reset in Ghana is a reality and not an empty slogan. Gentlemen, lawyer Kwesi Boche Jr. is National Communications Member for the NPP. Alhaji Mohammed Nasiru joined us this morning, also Senior Communications Member, team member for the NDC. And of course, my brother Richard Suma also joined us this morning as well, leading member for the Movement for Change. Gentlemen, thank you to you for we
follow issues.
Well, is there anything wrong?
We follow issues.
Supporting the National Democratic Congress. People of Ghana overwhelmingly supported the National Democratic Congress to bring John Dramani Mahama back to power. That is what I follow issues.
He really worked hard for the NDC, but today, if you look at the appointment going, I haven't heard of his name. I think the president should but he's worked very hard.
Lawyer, let's not get there. There were others in your party who also worked hard and didn't get positions. So let's not get there.
Persons who we didn't even hear of during the campaign, I even maintain. The person was appointed by President Akufo-Addo. Today, the person is still there. Is it that the NDC lacks the human resource? Election Nasiru is a fine product.
Okay. No. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there.
I need to respond to tell him that I respect, appreciate, and have confidence in the decisions of His Excellency.
No, you lack the
whoever he. No,
the NDC
to support.
I'll be there to support the president. And we have 4 years to go.
Exactly. No, Boche, you're welcome. Okay, let me. Stop. Let me do this quickly. Nasiru. No. Let me do this quickly. So this one is going out to you. It's your birthday today, Lisa Yabua. It's your birthday today, and happy birthday going out to you. This is coming from your mom, Phyllis Ajete, from ECG, Tema. She says that may God bless you, may God increase you, may God protect you, and the entire family loves you, Lisa Yabua. You're celebrating your birthday today. Happy birthday going out to you, and from me to you as well. And all the team that made it to the Volta Tour, the voter adventure, all the team, you're always here, you're watching. A very good morning to all of you. We're grateful to you once again for making it possible. We're making it a success as we went into voter. Joy 99.7 FM did a very special thing, and we're bringing another one this Saturday as the walk tour, and we're going to Jamestown. Make sure that you're a part of it as well. And to our sponsors, Voter Serene Hotel, we're grateful to you, and it's the best place that you can never spend your holidays. So your family, if you're making a vacation, make sure you make it to Voter Serene Hotel. You will love it over there. Thank you so much, and thanks to Franco Trading Enterprise this morning for bringing us news flash here on the show. There's more coming up. Theodore the Golden Girl is standing by for the latest updates in trends. Nathaniel Lato has got some sports. Rosalind Felly's got a big interview this morning, and we have Paulino Odro, legendary Paulino Odro, will be joining us here on the show. And we're also doing the sing-along today, so make sure you tune in. You're going to sing some patriotic songs here on the show. We've got something special we'll be giving out to you. So please tune in. As in West time, she's going to open the phone lines for you to sing some patriotic song. Rosalind will also do the same here on the show. So please be part of that. My name is KMJ. There's more. Just stay.
Newsflash was brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.
And this is still Prime Morning. Hi, everybody. Good morning to you. My name is Asiadua Akumia, and thank you to every single one of you who sent in your opinions, suggestions, your thoughts on our WhatsApp number during the News Flash segment. Before we get into this particular conversation, if you know you love everything about Ghana, since we are still celebrating Ghana in Ghana Month, well, we are about to test you a little bit. Later on in the show, or specifically during What's Trending, if you think you are patriotic enough, you get the opportunity to call in and sing along to any of our patriotic songs. Yes. So when you get it right, you could stand the chance of being a winner, and you will end up having a wonderful time at Safari Eco Park. Very interesting, isn't it? So Safari Eco Park has this beautiful package for you only if you get correct the lyrics to any of Ghana's patriotic songs. I really can't wait to hear you sing along with us during What's Trending segments. So if you want to be a part of this, and if you want to win, be part of the winners, get ready. You can Google any of the patriotic songs right now and then, start learning the lyrics or something like that. So you have an opportunity to get prepared, all right? Okay, so this particular conversation is very interesting. I'm a church girl. Anybody who knows me knows that. Yes, I really don't play with church, with going to church and all of that. But then it looks like there's some level of concern with the youth. And it looks like the youth and the church, there's something going on somewhere that needs to be addressed. And that is the reason that Faith Gatherings Worldwide is putting together a youth camp. And I'm excited about this camp because I know that it is going to impact, it is going to turn over the lives of these young people who are going to end up being part of this camp. It is Camp Adulam. But I have to introduce my guests to you this morning. I have seated to my immediate left, Reverend Eric Jeshurun Ochre, and he is the lead pastor. Hi, Rev.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm good. I'm doing well. You're looking all of that.
All of that. Thank you very much. Thank you. And seated to Reverend Ochre's left is, okay, so I always do ladies first. I don't know why I decided to do Reverend Ochre first. Please pardon me, okay? Pardon me. You're the only lady sandwich between them. So Pamela Osei Ejekum, executive, who is an executive pastor. Hi, Pamela.
Hi, Theodore.
How are you? I love your smile.
Thank you.
Okay, and seated to her left, we have Prince Edu Apia, who is a Global Missions Director. Hi.
Hello.
That title is heavy.
Don't worry.
He's the biggest man amongst all of us.
The biggest man. What exactly do you do?
Well, I'm in charge of mission strategy, so how to spread the word of God.
Nice.
You know, we are a gathering, so how can we form communities of young people gathering across, you know, the world?
First off, I want to know the drive, the motivation behind wanting to put together this this camp. What exactly is that thing that you want to change amongst the youth that you are organizing Camp Adulam?
Great. So Camp Adulam stems from, you know, scripture, of course. 1 Samuel chapter 22, where David was at a point in his life, you know, things were not going well. He was being pursued by Saul. And 1 Samuel 22:1, Bible says that David retreated, he ran, he escaped to a cave called Adullam, and you know, people gathered around him. I'm excited about the kind of people that gathered around him, because that is why we are doing this.
They were distressed. They
were distressed.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh,
exactly. And that's what we find in our days. A lot of young people who are distressed, who are fed up. You know, there's a word in there that says discontented, and a synonym to that is fed up. There are a lot of young people who are confused.
And you wonder, how can a young person be discontented? Because if you're young, automatically, it feels like, oh, you shouldn't have too much to worry about because you're still growing. Definitely a huge number of you still have your parents around, or you have guardians around to lead you and then all that. But then a lot of youth find themselves in these heartbreaking situations. So what really is this camp setting out to do?
Prince, go ahead.
Yes, so I mean, again, stemming from what happened at camp, you would realize that David and the people that gathered around him that went to the cave of Adullam, and the people that left the cave of Adullam were different kinds of people. So what happened over there? God, you know, they spent time with God, you know, they were trained, David trained his people over there. So that's what we are trying to create over here, where young people come, and for 4 days, from Thursday 27th to Sunday 30th, you know, you should see the program. It's really, really exciting. And a lot is going to happen. I believe, you know, we'll get time to dig into that.
But then before that, speaking about the youth is big on social media. They love social media. Especially the Gen Zs. They literally live on social media. But let's talk about social media and how it has the impact, whether it has impacted or affected the church in any way. Do you think, you know, it's making the church go here, or it's, you know, dwindling the church in any way?
Media is a channel. Media is a tool, and just like every other tool, it's the usage that makes it harmful or not.
The usage.
How social media is used. I always tell people there are no bad equipment. They are bad users of those equipments. In the same vein, there's no bad use to social media. It's the fabric of what society is that reflects on how we portray ourselves on social media. How is that having an impact on the church? I believe that the church, especially in Ghana and Africa, has made tremendous use of social media, especially after COVID-19. We see an openness to embrace media as part of ministry. And what we are trying to, and one of the things we'll be tackling at Camp Adulam, is moving the conversation from selling the church through the media to serving the church through the media.
No, I love that you are saying this, because one major concern personally that I've had is we have a lot of men of God who are always pushing people to go to church. So you have to be in the premises and be part of a gathering and serve God, worship, fellowship. But we also have social media where you do Facebook Live, TikTok, and, you know, all those things. But at the end of the day, if I'm seated in my home comfortably and I'm watching the sermon from my phone and I'm receiving the word that is coming, I mean, it should sum up. It shouldn't be a problem, should it?
It shouldn't.
That I don't have to necessarily be, in the church premises. It seems now it's beginning to be a problem some way, somehow.
It should and it should not.
Okay.
God's ultimate agenda is for us to gather. The Bible says that we should not forsake the gathering of ourselves together.
Yes.
The challenge, however, is that the moment social media becomes too pushy, as in selling and always trying to call people to come to church, you actually lose getting their attention. We focus too much on selling the come to church thing, trying to push our pastor, trying to push our church, than serving them. You see, the moment you're serving them with the information, the food they need from the Word of God, now you have their attention.
Yes.
I'm sure the content you like on social media is the one that kind of you connect to or that ministers to you. For those of us who go to church, that ministers to you. So I think that the conversation has to shift from using social media more as a ministry to people and connecting with that as a bridge to get them to come in person.
Okay.
But the ultimate plan of God is that we meet together. Bible says that how good and pleasant it is that brethren dwell together in unity. It's like the oil that was poured upon the head of Aaron that runs through his beard even to the ascender of the garment. And the Bible says that for there God has commanded a blessing. So there's a place for our meeting together as a church, even though we are all the church individually.
Yes.
So we cannot rule out that need for personal fellowship.
Okay.
But we may have to rethink our approach to social media and church, especially with young people, because it's becoming so obvious that we're using social media to push people. Everybody's trying to push their agenda, but can we just use the platform just to serve and to minister to their needs?
I love this. I really love this. Pamela, I don't know if you can give me answers to this, but briefly, because we are pressed for time. Briefly, if you can help us understand some of the misconceptions that people have about the church.
Well, I think that people haven't received the kind of attention they're looking for from the church. And so they tend to rather run away from the church than to run into the church. And so we're saying that the church is a place where you connect with God, you connect with other spirit-filled believers. And so much as people have been pushed away by the church, it is also a place for you to run into, to find fulfillment, to find safety, and to find some covering for you.
I love this. That was really super. Anyway, so talking about Camp Adulam, do the youth have to pay anything? How much, if they have to pay, how much do they have to pay? Who they have to contact and all that?
Camp Adulam is free. It's a residential camp. It's free. It's happening at the Pentecost Convention Center, and thank God for the Church of Pentecost for that beautiful center that they've built.
Okay.
It's free. You don't have to pay anything. You just have to register to be there. Actually, most of the slots are filled. We have just a few slots left. Hundreds of young people have already registered. For the camp, because camp is beginning tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow morning the bus will be at Adabraka Oasis Studios. That's where our church is, just adjacent to Champions Restaurant.
Okay.
So a free bus will be there to pick you to the center and to bring you back there on Sunday when we're done. And I want to just correct a little notion. The whole idea about young people is not about kids. The idea about young people is about people who are young in their minds. So age is just a number for us. I mean, we have so many people in their 50s, 60s, 40s, 45, 42-year-olds who have already registered. If you're there, you desire to do the work of the ministry, like Ephesians 4 says that he gave some to be apostles, prophets, teachers, to equip the saints to do their own work of ministry. Bring in the public place ministry and the secret place ministry, marketplace ministry and secret place ministry together, then this is an opportunity for you to be there. It's going to be a lot of prayer, prophecy, healings. Last year, maybe you don't have those shots, but last year we had a lot of instant healings and testimonies, prophetic words, and it's going to be great. Yeah.
We can't wait to bring you back here and give us some more feedback on how everything went.
Yeah.
And we can have an in-depth conversation on, how we can truly and really in-depthly impacts the youth.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. And so it's all about Camp Adulam. That is happening from tomorrow, the 27th of March, to the 30th at the Pentecost Convention Center in Gomwa. So please and please, if you're not just you being a youth at age, but if you're a youth up here as well, so age doesn't matter, find your way there, and definitely I believe and I know that you will be.
Isidro, if you don't mind, can we put out the number for those people that want to?
Yes, please, quickly.
For those who want to register, the number is 020-0024-611. 020-0024-611.
Perfect.
All right, okay, so that's it. It's all about Camp Adulam. Friends, Pamela, Reverend Ochoe, thank you so much for your time. But before we go, I want to do something.
Oh my God, I think I have an idea what
do you think I would?
I don't like the
idea. What do you think? I like the fact that you are clearing your throat. So you have a hint about what I want to do.
Oh my days.
Okay, so friends, this one there.
Don't start from here.
Please, one patriotic song.
Jesus is Lord. you know, my voice.
The voice is the problem.
The voice is the problem.
It doesn't matter. The voice doesn't matter. Please, let's go. You give us 1 or 2 lines. Then Pamela will go. Please, let's start.
Oh
my God.
Okay. Pamela?
That was supposed to be mine.
Okay, you continue from where he left off.
Eyabo den maya mojana na nanum shegu nyade toho maya.
Come on now.
Ejumene wonso so sayebe yebiato.
Okay. But why did you give me the I know another one. Which one is that? Mome munsem nyewe hiasem. Na dwinhwa nopa. Ewie nyumre nyina. Se wori bompaya yaikai Ghana. Sre wunyankopon fagana shenosa. Enuna uyo man bapa, enuna uyo odo ma woman. Enuara na yerishishe odo ma woman. Enuani. Yeah, go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you see how simple and easy it is. This is exactly that. This is what you have to do when you call in during What's Trending segment and you sing any patriotic song that you can, and you get the chance of being a winner to spend quality and amazing time at Safari Echo Park.
Then we won, right?
Yes. All right, so please do not go away. Coming up next, I am bringing you all the stories that are massively trending on social media. Let's not forget that sing along. If you are patriotic enough, you get the opportunity to showcase that to us right here on Prime Morning. And what you have to do is to sing any patriotic song, all right? You have to sing any patriotic song. But, I'm actually waiting for Nathaniel Atto to come and stand here so that I can question him on something very important in relation to what we are doing, because definitely we have to test ourselves, you understand? Just so that we can prep you, give you the vim. And so, Nathaniel Atto, I am waiting on you, but I'm also waiting on you, our lovely viewers, to get ready to be part of this amazing time that you're about to have during the What's Trending segment, where you call in and sing any patriotic song. When you get it right, you could have a wonderful package from Safari Echo Park. And Nathaniel Atto is standing beautifully. I love the way the moment you stood there, you know, chest out, head up. As now, which I say, anthem be. Mayeng, you want to sing an anthem, but then, you know, I want you to sing something in Ghana, a patriotic song in Ghana. Is that possible?
But washing me at the fitra here ni wayo wacho me ni wacho amena mi banambala kuni wake ameni ken labia ne ubeno kuno ba kemi e wote ba leteni mi o ke mi la wayen wala mi ni aka afi esanu ha me ala ni wake ameni ona bonicho
Oh, you are done. And I can say, oh, you are done. Maka. Over to you.
Thanks so much, Asidwa, and thanks so much to our friends from Lawson Herbal for bringing us all of that education and all of those solutions. Well, let's get down to what's happening in the world of sport. Parliament has been buzzing with a lot of ideas and congratulatory messages for the Black Stars following those two performances against Chad and Madagascar in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Now, based on the games that were played yesterday, the lead of the Black Stars has been cut now to 3 points, meaning we have to go back to the suggestions made by the head coach, Otto Addo, about not celebrating yet. The job is not yet done. But let's go to the floor of Parliament, where parliamentarians have been, talking about these two victories that have been recorded by the Black Stars in the ongoing FIFA World Cup qualifiers and what they mean going forward as the Ghana FA and other stakeholders look forward to resetting our football together with the new government who has a mantra of resetting the whole nation.
In fact, this is a very good statement, and we thank the Black Stars for putting out all the energy to win the two games for us. We are happy when the Black Stars are winning. We are hoping that they will continue to win, make us proud, so that we all go to the World Cup. But Mr. Speaker, on Friday, I happened to be at the stadium for the first time in so many years, and I made an observation which I believe this House should take into consideration in our subsequent meetings with the Sports Ministry. Mr. Speaker, on Friday, for the first time, I went to the VVIP section of the Accra Sports Stadium, and I was amazed that the VVIP session was so overbooked, was so overcrowded, and the members who were speaking could not even see the stadium to watch the ball. And then on the right side of the stadium, the VVIP particular part of the stadium for safety reasons. In the course of the match, the particular session was opened, and the place was filled up. In fact, it took an announcer at the stadium to warn the spectators not to lean on the metal railings at the stadium. Mr. Speaker, we've known and we've seen the stadium disaster, May 9 disaster, what it caused this nation. And so I'm using this opportunity to appeal to the Sports Ministry, the GFA, and the officials in charge of the stadium to be wary of the way they issue tickets when we play football matches in this country. And the fact that they can actually oversell or I've done that already. Honorable member, continue. And so, Mr. Speaker, I think it's very important that the officials in charge of our stadia do not continue to oversell tickets or allow more people than are supposed to be allowed into the stands. It is a very dangerous thing I observed on last Friday, and I believe that it should be taken up. In fact, this is a very...
Well, very valid concerns being raised about certain aspects of the organization of the game, the game last week. Okay, let's also talk about issues of rating and Ghana's current standing on the FIFA rankings. Well, that is what the Honorable Patrick Boama raised on the floor of Parliament. He talks about making sure that these performances are also reflecting very heavily on ratings. He talks about Ghana being within the 70s and, making sure that performances bring the ratings into the top tier.
Debates, but to put on record that the current minister or the current management of our football, national football team inherited a team that was on top of the log already, inherited a management team. The Black Stars were on top of the World Cup grouping. You can check the facts. He's saying no, but he should check. Number two, we asked them to at least win the next 2 matches, which they did, to garner the 6 points that we required of. But, Mr. Speaker, the Black Stars are ranked about 75 on the FIFA rankings, and that is not where we are supposed to be. If you look at, if you know where we as a country want our national team to be, we want our national team to be at the levels that took us to the last 8 in 2010. That is where we want our national team to be. Yeah. We encourage them to play better and to be at the level that will gladden the hearts of Ghanaians, Mr. Speaker. Madagascar, Mr. Speaker, is ranked 116 out of 210. Chad, 176. Debate.
All right, so various elements to this particular conversation about where we should be and where Ghana should be rated. Let's do some more from the world of sport and throw the focus on a breaking story sometime earlier today. Well, the president of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Ben Nunu Mensah, has decided not to contest in the upcoming GOC presidential elections, even though he qualifies to go for another term. Mr. Ben Nunu Mensah is emerging towards the end of serving a successful second term and has communicated this through a release. Sound it, play the sound. So he did indicate that he has, enjoyed a lot of cooperation from all members of the fraternity in the Olympic movement here in Ghana. He also stresses on the fact that it's been an honor serving in that capacity. However, he would want to move on to other endeavors which will also serve humanity and will also be impactful in that sense. Mr. Ben Nunu Mensah also apologized to all those who, support him, support his vision, and would have wished to see him take part in the upcoming election. But as things stand, he has taken this decision not to contest again. Well, the World Cup qualifiers on the African continent have not exactly been easy for the Super Eagles, especially with the last game. We do remember that the last 2 games were pretty good, with Victor Osimhen bringing his A-scoring game to the table. Well, now it was a draw against Zimbabwe, and that means that Nigeria also have to do some more work. We'll also bring you the highlights of the games involving South Africa.
Moses Simon dances into the penalty box, sets it up! Oh my, that was so close for Chukwueze. Left-footed, side-footing it hard into the corner, but it didn't quite find its target. They're doing really well, Zimbabwe, just to get the ball or keep Osimhen tightly marked, but this might be the opportunity here. Moses Simon gets the ball across. Oh, that could have been in the back of the net. Iwobi unable to flick it towards the goal. It was quick that it came across from Simon. That's a great ball, that is. Alex Iwobi picking it up. There's an excellent ball over, and that's a fantastic header from the big man. And Awa Kadari, as we talked about, is deadly with the high ball. He's the perfect player. Here is Moses Simon picking the ball up. He's gone left foot cross. The cross is great. It's again that man, Awa Kadari. He can't just get his head over it. It's a little bit high. Moses Simon. He's found the big man. Now let's see what he can do. Held up perfectly. Aina. There it is! It's a goal! Of course it is! Osimhen, goal number 3 in 2 games. The delivery was sumptuous from Aina. Well, it's taken some time for the Super Eagles to soar. That man there could have to stop Osimhen from heading the ball in from that range. Washington Arubi beaten finally with just over 15 minutes to go. And Osimhen with his third goal in this qualifying campaign. Lovely little back flick. That's a great ball. Oh, it's in the back of the net. They've got a goal. Oh, off the crossbar. How about that? Can't believe it. How close was that for Zimbabwe? A brilliant cross that came over and it fell loose. Here he is, Moses Simon. He's been the most active player on the pitch tonight. It's there. It's left foot, please. Use your left foot, Wilfred Ndidi. It was with his right foot and he bananaed it around the side of the post. A left foot drive would have straightened it up, and Nigeria, if it stays like this, will be taking the points. Lovely play. Sensational from Zimbabwe, and they get themselves the goal. Just look at that brilliant play, and Chirawa manages to dance into the penalty box and just kick it into the corner to score an equaliser. Well, the ball comes out to the left-hand side. It's passed straight into his path. Lovely first touch to deal with Tuesday Gong, and then just
with defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns are going for an 8th trophy. Well, Batusi Obas, teammate of his, just as a
sees the ball sneak in and then celebrates with surety after what looked a very unsure moment. Bafana take flight in Abidjan. Comment ça va? Ça va bien, Maccabi. Bafana. 8 minutes before the hour. Perfect timing.
Yeah, that was a brilliant bit of play. Excellent ball into space there from South Africa. He's dovetailed so well with Batusi Obas. I'm sure there were many questions as to the midfield composition of Obas and Mbata. They're not similar players. Here's Morena to the hands of Danjanu whilst motoring. Or maybe just took it a bit too early. Tapelo Morena. Yeah, an opportunity for him to stretch his legs there. Tapelo Morena. Only Cape Verde have made it 2-1 as Rocher has a problem with hamstring. Olitan. Magic man Olitan. Ran a shot from distance. Right in the GPS coordinates is wide. But at least a sign of intent from Seisi Almeida. This is how it happened.
Yeah, excellent defending there from Kulisa Medao, just forcing Olitan into the traffic there.
7 to play. Chance for Bafana, which sees a second goal off the bench. It's Jaden Adams scores back-to-back goals. That's the power of Bafana's bench in Abidjan. And for a second time, it's Vava Boom for Hugo Boss and his side. Defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns are going for.
Dazzle his way through the middle and now on the counter-attack here, Cape Verde. There's a 4-on-3 here if they get the pass right. The flag stays down, and that's 1-0. Cape Verde on the counter-attack. In first half stoppage time have hit Angola with the sucker punch, and it's Daylon Livramento. Good ball out from Mendes. And that definitely onside, the flag staying down. The keeper came out to try and cut down the angle, but confident finish from Livramento, and the Italian-based striker has put Cape Verde in a fantastic position here in Luanda. Apologise again for the picture quality. We are working on it, I can assure you. Oh, Cape Verde giving the ball away. And then the foul in the attempt to win the ball back. And now a dangerous position here for Angola. There's Kevin Pina. Ball teased into the area. Oh, and it's come loose there, and there's the equaliser. 50th minute. And it's taken Angola just 5 minutes to find the back of the net in this second half and draw things level here in Luanda. Ball teased in. It's a Cape Verde. It's Livramento, actually, the goal scorer, who inadvertently nodded the ball into Gelson's path. No chance the keeper there. Remember, Angola unbeaten in World Cup qualifying so far in 5 games. They've only won one of them, though. 4 draws apart from that. Oh, and the ball intercepted there by Pina. And they're in through on behind here. And there's 2-1. Pegged back in the 50th minute. Took 12 minutes to get back into the lead, did Cape Verde. And it's Livramento again. See the gap there between the centre defenders. They had to come to the man with the ball as Pina made a run in from left back. Completely taking Gaspar out of it with the timing of the pass. Taken short to the edge of the area. Now the shot comes in straight at the keeper, though, for Pedro Bondo. Neblu, rather Vizinho, beg your pardon, going long there, looking down the flank. That's a brilliant throw in behind here from Angola. And Vizinho.
Alrighty, here we go. That's how it is. Let's quickly once again look at the situation with Ghana and why it's very important to make sure that, you know, the Black Stars win the remaining games just to be safe and seal the qualification. Now, in terms of updates for who has qualified to join Japan, it was a very, very interesting, you know, back and forth between Brazil and their arch rivals Argentina. I'll tell you about that in a little bit, but let's quickly take a look at the updated table of Ghana. Okay, so there it is in Group I. So this is the situation with Ghana. Now, Comoros have jumped into second place, and this was after yesterday's round of results. So there it is. So 15 points for Ghana based on what has been done so far. Now, there's a very good goal difference, and the reason why scoring 8 goals in 2 matches became very, very important. So 10 goals as an advantage. Now, Comoros are following in second place with 12 points. This means just 1 win separates the Black Stars and Comoros. Now, so it's a 2-goal advantage here. Now, Madagascar have 3 goals and 10 points. Mali have 9 points, 5 points for Central African Republic. Chad are still yet to record a win. They lost by 1-0 at the hands of Comoros. So this is what it's looking like for the Black Stars, meaning that the remaining games that will be played in the month of September would have to be won by the Black Stars to ensure utmost safety. Do remember that the management committee chairman of the Black Stars, Dr. Randy Abbey, has also indicated that there will be a 4-nation tournament in the month of June in the United Kingdom for the Black Stars to help them prepare better for the remaining qualifiers. Now, Argentina walloped Brazil by 4-1 to secure their next qualification. Yes, Argentina did it against their long-time sworn rivals, you know, to win by 4-1. Well, we'll be doing a lot more on the World Cup qualifiers in subsequent editions. Do remember, you can click on the sports page of myjoyonline.com for more stories. There'll be more to share with you. Well, what's trending is coming up, and the patriotic song contest is very interesting. You know, a Ghanaian patriotic song in your local language. Well, Isidro will be bringing us all of those details, but I have gone for a court order to restrain anybody from asking me for, you know, singing from asking me to sing any song hit by local language. Well, that's it for sports for this morning. The show continues. More excitement coming up. Isidra takes over and brings us, you know, what's trending. Just take a listen to some of the songs. It's interesting. Show continues.
is still Prime Morning. Nathaniel Ato, thank you so much for all the updates in relation to sports. Anytime I stand here, you know what time it is. It's time for me to bring you updates on all the stories that are massively trending on social media. Now, get ready to be a part of an amazing thing that is about to happen right here on What's Trending. I gave you hints. I told you I've been telling you about it. Nathaniel Ato also, giving us a court order and all of those things. But you get the opportunity to call in during this particular segment and sing any patriotic song that you can. Is it the Ghana national anthem? Is it Yanara Yasasini? Which one is it that you can sing? If you can sing also in your local dialects, not necessarily in Chi only, your local, any language at all, just call in and sing. Because today, this morning, we will be choosing some winners who will have an amazing and wonderful package from Safari Eco Park. You know Safari Eco Park, right? The beautiful place that has all these animals. It's a recreational center at the same time. You will find zebras there, you will find antelopes, all sorts of animals that you can think of, you'll find there. And so if you want to have that wonderful wildlife experience, please, the number is on your screen right now. Pick it up, call us, and let's get singing. I really can't wait to hear your beautiful voices this morning. So whilst we wait for you to call in, let's get right into our trending stories for this morning. And yesterday, there was a heavy downpour. Some parts of Ghana experienced a massive flooding. It was really heartbreaking. But one of the stories, or one of the places that is greatly trending on social media, which we least expected to have happened, is the ANC Mall in East Legon. So unfortunately, the solar panel, the garage, the sheds for the garage has solar panels on top of them at ANC Mall, and it fell on all the cars that had parked underneath it. So these are, let's just look at some videos that look at that. I wish that, we had any viewer whose car who experienced this yesterday. If you can call us and, let us know how the experience was yesterday, how did they manage to, just salvage the situation. We would be very, very elated for you to give us updates in relation to that. If you personally experienced this yesterday at the ANC Mall, but this is really, really heartbreaking. But there was an official communique from ANC Mall addressing this particular issue. So let's read exactly what it states. And it says, we regret to inform you that not too long ago, the solar panel structure in our parking area collapsed due to heavy rain. Thankfully, no injuries were recorded. Our team, along with the relevant authorities is on site to manage the situation and ensure a swift resolution. We sincerely apologize for any distress or inconvenience this has caused. And appreciate your patience as we work to address the situation. Your safety remains our top priority. We will keep the public informed on any updates. And that's the official communique from ANC Mall addressing the issue that happened yesterday. Like I did say, if you're watching us from the comfort of your home or your offices and you experience this at the ANC Mall, you can call in and, share your experience with us and all that. All right, let's just move away from this. Okay, well, let's see how people reacted to this on social media because it really, 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 really trended. Kwaku Mensah says, hey, hope no serious injuries. Fortunately, like the communique from ANC Mall did state, there were no injuries. Abena Poma says, stay safe out there. Hereby Trudy says, hey, God. Eric Efriye says, I almost went in there. I don't know why I stopped at Starbite and sat there rather. Okay. I am Wayne official says, imagine people inside the car with their kids. Hope everyone is safe. Yes, by God's grace. Boss McQueen says, in the name of modernization, we cut down all the tree and we've tiled the earth. If there should be rainstorm and earthquakes, you would, okay. All right, and so we'll get some more comments for you in relation to this story. But, you know, just to talk a little bit about this, see, it doesn't even matter that trees are not being cut and all that. There are some heavy downpours. The wind alone, the strength of the wind alone uproots trees. It uproots trees. So all I will say is that let's pray, let's be more prayerful, let's be very careful. Wherever we go, wherever we find ourselves at, we need to be very careful. Before we move on to the next trending story, and whilst we wait for you, see, I hope you are getting ready to join us though, because if you don't call me right now and sing any patriotic song so you can win some amazing time at Safari Eco Park, see, I'll be cross with you. And I know you wouldn't want the Golden Girl to be cross with you, all right? So pick up the phone number on your screens right now. There it is, down below. Take it, call us, and sing a patriotic song. And yeah, you could win something from Safari Eco Park. Before we get into the next trending story, we have to talk about this right here. Tasty Tom has a new baby on the block, and that is the all-new seasoning powder. And so what is it that you're looking for to give your food or your meals or your meat, you know, that twist of taste? They have got you covered. Is it chicken seasoning that you're looking for? Here it is. They've got chicken for you. There is stew as well. Let me take out the shrimp. There's shrimp seasoning. There's shrimp seasoning for you. And then what else do we have? My jollof people, come closer. So Tasty Tom has jollof rice seasoning for you as well. See, they know what they're about. They mean business. So yes, this is the jollof seasoning powder. This is the chicken seasoning powder. And this is the stew seasoning powder and the shrimp. This is how it looks like. So make sure that when you are putting together your list of items or your ingredients for your next meal, you add all these seasoning powders and stock them up in your pantry. It's all about the all-new seasoning powders from Tasty Tom. All right, and so moving on to the next trending story. Ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes I wonder how some young people think. Yes, we understand that you want to probably display something. You want to show some catchy powers more. When you're young, our parents used to say that term a lot, catchy powers, to show that you're you to you day. But I do not know. I don't know if you remember what happened to media personality Kofi Adoma. And unfortunately, he's going through a number of surgeries because there was an irresponsible display of gunpowder at a funeral or at a gathering, okay? And that caused him an eye. Now, these young men spotted at a funeral. This is not gunpowder. This is actual firearms. And they decided to brandish these weapons at a funeral. Do you know that it is illegal? You cannot brandish weapons in this manner in a public setting, in a public space. If you are doing it inside your home, on your compound, and only you'll be in home, so you are free to do that. But not in a public setting where there are so many people around. Anybody at all can be hurt. What so much catch powers now? Let's read some comments. How are netizens reacting to this? Ernest Kwabena says, and people are still standing there. Medru Fiache. Al Hassan Tahiru says, Ghana Police Service, where are you? Don't worry. Ooh, here we'll see a communique from them very soon. Don't worry. Kojo Torrance says, Ghana Police Service, you have a missed call to attend to. Thank you. That boy OMB says, okay, also tagging Ghana Police Service. Kwame Nyakon says, is it an armed robber's funeral? Okay. Rosemary says, hey, so where is this? Nia Jetty faculty says, why? An armed robber died? Isobeya Boarding says, so Ghana Police Service, are we safe in this country? The day the rich, power-drunk political gangsters will get hold of these guys across country, it would be over for you and I. Don't worry, Ghana Police Service will handle them. We need not worry at all. Kobe Ray says, in a civilized country, they will be arrested. Gideon is also tagging Ghana Police Service. I salute. Alex Opoku Adapo says, now, Ghana is a lawlessness country because a certain party recruited these for their party activities. Now, they're free to use guns everywhere. Colin Sodom says, hey, now our country is in danger. Golden She says, how did they get the gun? Nana Kwesi says, let me go check if IGP is awake. Okay. You can share your thoughts with us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it is Joy Prime TV. You can take our WhatsApp number. It is 055-157-5757. Let's not forget that you could get the chance of winning some amazing items from Level 2 Feminine Wash. You can also get some items from Fortune Spread. Yes, Fortune Spread. You know that delicious chocolate spread? Aha. You could get some hampers or some gifts items from them as well, and also Safari Echo Park. When you partake in this sing-along that we're about doing right here on What's Trending on Prime Morning. So call the number right now and join us. Just sing any patriotic song. Sing. I say, well, mistake, I will take you like that. Okay. So just take the number and call and sing any patriotic song in whatever language that you are comfortable with. But it has to be Ghana. You have to show us that you are highly patriotic. If you're Ghanaian, just call and sing, and you could stand the chance of winning some gift items or hampers from Level 2 Feminine Wash, Fortune Spread, and Echo Safari Echo Park. Okay, but you know, I was actually thinking about something right now, that there's a high possibility that, you know, whilst you are singing, you could possibly be reading the lyrics from somewhere and all of that. How about we see your beautiful faces this morning? That wouldn't be bad, you know? So if you can join us on Zoom, rather, you're going to put the Zoom ID and password on the screen pretty shortly. Just put on something quick. You don't need to do anything. Just join us on Zoom and sing. Sing any patriotic song. Just come and join me for What's Trending segment. I can't wait to see your wonderful faces this morning. Whilst you get ready to join us on Zoom, let's take the next trending story. And if you know you have chopped breakfast before, come closer. Come and join the table. You chop breakfast before. Now, I'm not talking about that breakfast, you know, the meal you eat when you wake up in the morning. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about heartbreak. If your heart has been broken before, my goodness. Hey, and yeah, easy, but that doesn't mean that my heart has been broken before, by the way. Anyway, so this student of KNUST, his name is Henry. Henry is greatly trending on social media because a girl decided to break his heart into pieces, and his friends, his hall mates, his colleagues that he's in the same hall with decided to let him know that, my guy, you are not alone. We there for you. Just see how they showed him love. sometimes it is instances like this that makes campus so fun, so exciting. And these boys really showed him so much love. Henry, we hope that tempers have cooled by now. See, forgive the girl, okay? If she's working your house and you're so heartbreaking, don't worry. You're going to get another girl. And I know that she will treat you better and love you and she wouldn't leave you. Well, let's see how people reacted to this. Aisma says, hey, boys, but if you're one of them who introduced a girl to the boy, hey, then go push you, then later, heartbreak. Denisa says, okay, Dennis Entry says, later, then she did go chase pastor for man to marry her. Is our Valentina West says, great, now the girl will be ashamed she did that to him. Felice and Nanama says, boys will laugh at you when you are grieving, then later console you after. Shauna Soul says, what did Henry do? You can tell that he was crying. Oh, what did he do for the heartbreak to happen? Yeah, that's a very good question. Artbajo says, say heat, can say heat. Chelsea says, you guys should stop this. These are some of the things that bring suicidal thoughts. Oh, no. It will cheer him up. It will really cheer him up. Miss Fan says, is there Medasi for me? Avanadi says, I'm also here with you, Henry. Aww. Henry, you are not alone, okay? You're really not alone. But we are still here and we are still waiting for you to join us on Zoom. The Zoom ID and password is on your screen right now. So please pick it up. Join us on Zoom and sing any patriotic song with us this morning because you could stand the chance of winning some amazing items from Level 2 Feminine Wash, Fortune Spread, and Safari Echo Park. Show us how patriotic you are by singing any patriotic song in any local language that you feel very comfortable in, okay? So we are waiting on you. All right, and so let's take the next trending story. Let's go all the way to the United States of America. This lady has been trending for a very long time now. She's always been trending. I remember last year, January, she was in the studios of Prime Morning where I sat, KMJ and I sat with her. She's an amazing, impeccable woman. But when it comes to the world of marketing, she's a genius. I am talking about Bozoma St. John. Now, guess what? She is a Ghanaian. Now, she's currently trending on social media because it seems that quite a number of you do not really know her. She's actually on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She's one of the main characters on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm pretty sure you might have chanced on this on DSTV somewhere. But she's Ghanaian and she's trending because of her resume. If you remember, a little early in the year, there were some massive fires in California. Her home was part of the homes that were gutted completely by the fires in California. And she came out to say that that was a home that after, her husband died and it was just left with she and her daughter, they moved into for the very first time. So that home meant a lot to her and she lost it. But she's a very strong woman. And just to remind you again, she's Ghanaian. All right, so it's all about Bozoma St. John. But that's it for the trending stories. I have my phone here. My list of birthdays is ready. Let's get celebrating, all of you who are celebrating your birthdays today, and get ready to join us on Zoom and sing along to any patriotic song. Okay, so you know what? Before I get into the birthdays, let me put my phone away just a little bit because I have someone joining me on Zoom right now. Hello, good morning. Hi, good morning. Can you please turn down the volume of your TV?
Okay. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Can you please? Thank you. I'm fine. And you?
I would really love it if you turn down the volume of your TV so we can hear you smoothly.
Okay.
Are we good? Yes, I can hear you now. What's your name, beautiful?
I'm Angel.
Hi, Angel. Okay, so Angel, which patriotic song will you sing for us this morning?
a cheap patriotic song.
Okay. Okay, so go ahead, sing.
Adore woman, and no one I adore my woman, and
Yay! Angel, that was really beautiful. Are you a chorister? Because you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Okay, so Angel, I want you to send your number, okay? Text us your number. You know our WhatsApp number, don't you? 055-157-5757, okay? And then we'll get in touch with you off air because guess what? It looks like you have really impressed us this morning. So thank you. Thank you for calling. Don't forget to add your name, Angel, okay? So we know it's you. Don't forget to add your name. All right. Thank you, Angel. Thank you so much. Let's pause a little bit because we have some people joining us on Zoom. Hello, hi, good morning. Who do we have?
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, thank you.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Augustina.
Augustina, which patriotic song will you be singing for us this morning?
I'm singing Erin.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, kindly go ahead.
Okay. Ghana, Niba, Ghana, Niba, Yara toy nenye.
Okay, Sina, please hold on. You have to turn on your camera so we see your face.
Okay.
Yes, please do. Play. Please turn on the camera so we see your beautiful face, all right? And sing. We love how you are already gingering us up. There we go. Hi. All right, so yeah, sing. Let's continue.
Ghana, Yara toy nenye. Uploaded to your Baba, Ghana,
Augustina, that was really beautiful.
Uploaded to your Baba, Ghana,
Hey, Augustina, so with them more.
Mauna clothes, Ghana, Mauna clothes, Ghana,
all right.
Ghana.
Augustina, thank you. That was really beautiful. Thank you so much. Please send your name and your phone number to our number. You already know the number. Send your name and your phone number, and we'll get in touch with you pretty shortly. Who next do we have? Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I am doing awesome, and I'm excited to see your face this morning. What's your name?
I'm Constance.
Hi, Constance. Okay, so which of the patriotic songs will you sing this morning?
Please, I'll sing in Chi.
No problem. Feel free. Okay, let's go.
Yen araya sasini, eya podin mayen, mucha shego editu homai. Ni wonsusu sebe biatu twaso, nindi twaso, kusu krani, yepeseni, tinkuminya, yedni breye muna maya fonsi suda, Sebeyo, Amino Serino, Ayasabana Tree, Amino Branesi, Amino Sebeyo, Amino Serino, Ayasabana Tree, Amino Branesi.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. Also, send your number and your name to our WhatsApp number right now, and we'll get in touch with you pretty shortly. Who next do we have? Who next do we have? We are getting ready for our big interview because our guest is already seated. So let's take our next Zoomer and let's get singing. Okay, hi, good morning to you.
I'm so forming an up here. Oh.
Hello, good morning. Please, my gentleman, we are seeing you. You are currently live on Prime Morning on Joy Prime. Can you please unmute so we can hear you?
Hello.
For the rest of you that are on Zoom, do not worry. We will continue. It's not ending just on what's trending. We're going to continue pretty shortly. My name is Dua Akumia. You can call me the Golden Girl. And that's it for what's trending right here on Prime Morning. Rosie Felly is beautifully seated with our guest this morning for the big interview. She's a woman that a lot of us love, and I can't wait to get to know some more about her this morning. Rosalind is going to ask all the very important questions, but if you have some more questions to ask, send it to our WhatsApp number, and Rosalind will definitely ask that for you. Whom are we talking to this morning? Rosalind will do us the honors and let us know who our guest is for the big interview. Rosalind?
You know, I love that people are calling in, they are singing patriotic songs.
Yes.
But I wish this song was a patriotic song. And I'm in shame, I'm in bonko bobi, in Of course, Paulina Odro is here. Hi, Paulina. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Like I said, I wish it was a patriotic song. I know a lot of Ghanaians would have called in to sing that
You know?
Yeah, but it's one of my favorites.
Oh, thank you.
One
thank
of my favorite. I mean, it sets a certain tone, you know. Beautiful one.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And welcome to the big interview.
Thank you very much.
Happy Ghana month.
Same to you, my darling.
And you are a true Ghanaian because even though you grew up in the United Kingdom,
yes,
you still found your way back to Ghana.
I did.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it.
Yep.
Yes.
And we love you too.
Thank you.
You are a jack of all trades.
I do try.
Now, for those of you who don't know too much about Madame Paulina Odro, I want you to take a look at this video.
Paulina Odro, born on January 27, 1959, in Sekondi, Takoradi, Ghana, is a high-life musician, actress, and talent show judge. She spent her early years in Japan and later moved to London, where she developed her passion for the performing arts. Although she trained as a nurse, she ultimately pursued career in music. Her musical journey began in the 1980s, focusing on soca and reggae. She collaborated with artists like David Ruder and Arrow, and she was part of the Casanova Reggae Band. By 1999, she had released a solo album, Woman Power, showcasing her versatility. Beyond music, Paulina has a successful acting career, appearing in films such as Coming to Africa and Love Regardless. She's also known for her advocacy work, promoting natural skin tones through campaigns against skin bleaching. Paulina's reputation precedes her as she pursued her love for everything arts. As part of this Ghana Month celebration, we delve into the life of this icon. Our big interview guest today, is the one and only Paulina Odro.
Oh my goodness. So you're Fanti?
Pure.
Pure? 100% Fanti. No wonder you speak impeccable English.
Oh,
I don't, yeah, because I feel like Fanti, even when you're speaking your Fanti,
we mix it.
You mix it up.
We do.
And so you speak impeccable English.
Thank
and
you.
You are a jack of all trades.
I try.
Tell us more about the woman, Paulina Odro.
I think what you see is what you get, really. I love music. In fact, I love performing art. I love being mom.
Yeah.
I love kids. And most of all, I like to, I don't know if you can call it teaching, but I like to give my experiences to the younger ones, the youth, you know. So yeah, I'm jack of all trades. I've had my own businesses.
Yeah.
From boutique to restaurant.
Right.
I mean, retail in general, I do like to,
to do it. But you started off as a nurse.
I did.
Okay, now tell us.
I did that for my parents.
Okay, now tell us how it all happened.
Well, my parents always wanted me to have they call it proper profession. My dad wanted me to be a lawyer, and my mom wanted me to be a teacher, but she didn't force that. So to keep them quiet, I did the nursing.
Okay.
So at least I have something that they look at as a profession. So I did that. But as soon as I got to a point where I thought, that's it, I've done it. Now into the music.
Okay, so how long did you do nursing for?
3 years.
3 years? And you thought it was okay?
Yeah.
Was it that you were too frustrated in there?
Not really. You know, I felt like I was giving something back.
Okay.
And because I worked in different parts of the medical field, like the geriatric ward and then the pediatrician ward and then also surgery wards. So those things were experience for me, and I really, really loved it.
Now, your father was a diplomat.
Yes.
And so one would say you didn't grow up, you know, from a struggling background. Is that it?
You see, people don't realize I had the most amazing grandmother, which, I mean, I would say she did not go to school, but she was a business-minded. And she was more than somebody who had a PhD, you know? She was incredible. And we didn't come from, I mean, I was born in Sekendi. We lived in an area very close to the sea. Most of my family members were all fishermen. So I didn't see myself as a rich or coming from a prominent family. It's just like we were a happy family and nobody looked at riches to be a problem or to be somebody's chase. Do you know what I mean by that? So in the end, my dad being a diplomat, my mum being a teacher didn't really faze me in any way. I just thought, I just needed to find my path.
But when you went to UK, how old were you?
I was, at the time I was 9.
9 years. Yeah. Was it difficult finding your feet?
No, that's the funny thing. No. The only thing I didn't like was the cold. And those days in the 60s, fog was a big problem. Like, you wake up in the morning, you don't see anything. It's very, very foggy.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing that I would say was an issue. But apart from that, no, I didn't, no.
So what brought you back to Ghana?
I never left. My spirit never left. When I say that, people think I'm weird, but my spirit never left Ghana. Even though I lived outside for many years, any chance I get, I come back home. I mean, I joined the band Western Diamonds in the 90s. And to me, that was the best thing could have happened to me. And I prayed and I wished that I went to school here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't go to school here. And it really, really, my parents wanted me to go to either Holy Child or Wesley Girls. And those were the schools that I was root for because that's what I really wanted to do, to go to school here.
Right.
But unfortunately,
it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
So if you had the opportunity between these two schools, which one would you have selected?
My mom would call me if she was alive, but I would choose Wesley Girls.
Why?
I don't know. There's something about that school I felt like I belonged.
Okay.
I don't know the reason, but it's like people that I've met from there, I find I have a lot in common with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But it didn't happen, but you still have a lot in common with them. So maybe your spirit has attended
Like
the
I
school
said.
without you even knowing. So you came back to Ghana and you came as a full-time musician.
Yeah.
And at that time, was music paying?
No.
So how were you surviving?
You see, the thing with, because I doubled into a lot of things, I didn't expect music to really feed me. The thing that people don't seem to understand, I never looked for fame. It was never about fame. It was my passion. And that's why I doubled into so many different things. I did the music, I did the acting, I did TV, and most of all, I worked with children. I coached a lot. So that was like grooming them. So that was, yeah, I would say the grooming even paid more than anything else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what kept you still in the music industry?
Passion.
Passion.
I mean, I work with amazing people. I mean, Papa Youngson, for example.
Yeah.
Rest so Poppy. And John Kay. I mean, when I think about these people I've worked with, and even in England, the people I've worked with, it's put a smile on my face. Not everybody gets that opportunity.
That's true.
Yeah.
Are you proud of the new crop of generation with regards to our music?
I am, because every generation has their own thing. Every generation, you can't expect them to be like us in our time. I mean, we had a different vibe altogether. And High Life was like, as a Ghanaian, High Life was everything when it comes to the genre of music. And I lived over there. What do I know? But because of the people that I mingled with, people like Bessie Simons, Alfred Bannerman, John Kay, there were so many of us over there, Ben Bracco, we were all over there. And, you know, we feed off each other with the High Life music. So it was a huge, big thing over there. And Joe Osei was one of the musicians that, I don't know if you remember, oh, Missy Me Piawasam. Now, he was one of the people that I worked with a lot, and he's here now. So, you know, Ghanaian music, to me, or High Life music, was something that I was so proud to be a part of.
But from what you're saying, there was a lot of unity then, and now we are seeing so many beefs, and they say the beefs are also paying off. Do you think it's good to have beef in our industry?
No, I don't. I think it's silly. I mean, the youth of today have their own way of thinking. I'm not here to judge them. My thing is, believe in what you do. Let's all unite. We're all Ghanaians. What are we fighting for? Let's all work as a team and spread the Ghanaian music all over the world. It's not all about, you know, I'm better than you or I got more money than you. It's not about that. It's spreading our music all over the world.
I love that. I really, really love that, because it looks like the beef is getting a little bit too much. No need.
It's childish.
I love that from you. And, you know, the Nigerians are claiming they brought High Life, and you are a High Life musician.
No, they didn't.
They didn't?
No, they did not. To me, High Life, we can all call it West African vibe. And it's how we create our own. You know, Africa, West Africa is big. I mean, we have Benin, we have Senegal, you know, we have all different flavors of High Life. Our one was literally spreading out with the Botela and Yudkonimo. I mean, we had amazing musicians, especially when it comes to the guitar. We have even a vibe called Seprawa.
Right.
You know, so there's a lot of things that the rest of the West Africa didn't know that came from Ghana. I mean, Fela came to learn from us. A lot of them came to learn from us. And when they're, see, the problem I see in Ghana here, we don't invest in our music. We tend to look at music or entertainers to be jokers, but we're not. We're huge. I mean, massive.
Yeah.
We're huge if we only invest. You know, there's a lot of us, but there's not a lot of investment in the entertainment industry.
Who should we expect the investment from? Is it we as the musicians, as in like the entertainers, or we should expect it from the government or, you know, corporate bodies? Who are those two?
All. Because we can't expect the government to do all. You know, there's so many things going on in Ghana that we can't say is the government duty to fund music alone. No, they should bring some. They should have like a yearly funding that they do for the musicians or
Do you think
entertainment.
whatever they have, is enough?
Sorry?
Whatever the government has for the musicians or the entertainment space, is it enough?
Yeah. No, it's not.
It's not?
No, it's not. Because we're massive and it's different categories. So you can't just, let's say, music alone. We have the acting, we got the TV, we got so many. So it's all about the government having someone behind who actually does the job by going around and having a look and see what they can do to help the industry. And ourselves as well.
Yeah.
You know, we as entertainers, we need to literally let them know.
How do we do that?
By basically talking to the right people. We tend to be all individuals. We all think, oh, my music, my this. No, we're corporate. We need to work as a team. And because we're not united, I can't even explain it. I've got to a point where I think action speaks louder than words. Let me put my action instead of talking. So I do this and I do that. And, you know, I try to help in my own way to let other people, like, for example, Western Music Awards. When they came, I'm a Ghanaian, I'm from West, I'm from Sekondi Takoradi, born and bred. And I feel like I had to help when they came to approach me about it. And I've been doing it since, you know, and I think it's 7 years now.
Yeah.
And I feel very much proud of myself to be a part of that, you know. And anyone that comes to me, we have to literally, let's forget about even all this. Let's action speak for itself. Let's do it instead of talking.
So we need to invest in ourselves first to be able to even go to the corporate bodies and to the government to support us.
Definitely.
But, you know, some people also say that, talking about things the government does for the entertainment space, even the kind of taxes that are on us are a bit unfair. Do you agree?
100%. I mean, if you're not earning, how can you pay tax? It's a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, a whole year, a musician's not working. I mean, even if they do, they're jamming, they're not being paid. I mean, how could you pay somebody 1,000 Ghana? You know, what's 1,000 Ghana? Right now, 1,000 Ghana is 100 Ghana cities. Everything's sky high. So it's very, very difficult to live as a musician or as an entertainer because you're not paid right. You know, I mean, when I go to the UK to go and work or when I go outside to go and work, the money I earn, comparison to what I get here, it's a joke, you know. So we have to, I keep saying we, the entertainers, we have to set up our own, you know, we're not even individual team, like I said. We're corporate, work as a team. Don't let somebody go and do a job for 1,000 and then you go and do it for 500. That's a big
right. So we have to come together and like have like a minimum wage sort of.
Well, that's what I meant by that. I'm not really clear this morning. I'm a bit still slow, but
I think you should drink some coffee. Probably as you're drinking the coffee, I'll go on Zoom and pick a few of my Zoomers who want to sing some patriotic songs. So if we have any Zoomer available, since we are talking to a seasoned musician here today, let's hear your voice. So who do I have? Oh, I love your pharmacy. Hello, darling. Hi, darling. How are you? Yes, unmute yourself for me. Have you unmuted? All right, so you're trying to unmute yourself, but you're struggling a little bit, right? Okay, so we'll come back, and if we have other Zoomers, we can pick somebody else, or as she tries to fix her microphone. Sometimes, you know, you're trying to mute, and it goes to unmute. I don't know how it happens like that all the time, you know.
It does happen.
Yes,
yeah, it does.
Yes. So right now, we have a new government. I don't know. But of course, we have some musicians who are taking about $200,000. And like you said, others are taking 100,000 Ghana cedis. Let me talk to this lady, beautiful lady. I'll come back to you. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic. I love your pharmacy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So what song are you going to sing for us? What's your name, though?
I'm Born to Win.
Born to Win. All right. Okay, sing for us.
All right. I'll sing in an ewe.
Okay, that's nice. I like it.
All right. Nya deni balolola enuwo nye wakwasia nya togojo wope agbeblereta kwenami edonya pliwo haji Like, I'm shocked.
But you tried. You did try, Born to Win. Thank you so much for joining. And let's see if you stand a chance of, winning any of the prizes, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. But Paulina, what do you think about her voice, though? Did she do well?
She did well, very well.
Okay. Now, you also train and you teach a lot.
Yes.
Do you think the youth of today, especially the Gen Zs, are willing to learn?
Some. I would say some. I'm not going to say all. Some.
Okay.
If only they can calm down and listen. I think they...
Morning.
We'll come to you, my darling. I just want Paulina to make this point. I'm coming. Just give me a minute, okay? All right, so...
A lot of the youth today, because of the internet and the social media and going on and becoming TikTokers and, whatever you call them, they feel like they have more or they've learned more than us. It's all about experience. Money can't buy experience. Never. That I can assure you.
Right.
And if the youth can only calm down and listen, we get far.
Do you have an experience with any youth that you tried and the person wasn't listening?
Many of them.
We'll talk about that. Let me answer this one and then you tell me about that. Hello, good morning. Yes, unmute yourself for me, darling.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you too?
I'm fine, thank you. What's your name?
I'm Juliet.
Juliet, what are you singing? Yes. What song are you singing?
A true song.
Okay, let's go.
What's your name? My Munsem. Nyewe Nyasem. Na Jinwanopa. Se uri bapaya eya kaigana stra unyankopon pagana shenisa enona huyo mandapa enona odo mauman enwa na yeshishe Odo woman, and one here.
Amen.
Woman.
Oh. Now here we go. Oh, Juliet. Amen. Thank you very much for joining us, Juliet.
Thank you.
Juliet, this one, you are either you attend Pentecost or Assemblies of God. Which one? Because the way you made it very, very gospel.
I attend ICG.
Your pastor is proud of you. Your pastor is proud of you, Juliet. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, so how do you think she did it? I mean, it sounded very gospel.
Yes, very gospel-y. Yeah.
Not bad at all.
At all.
Yeah.
At all. Well done.
So you were going to share your experience with us with regards to you trying to help somebody in the younger generation and they felt they knew.
It's been like that for a long time. The youth of today, actually, there's very few of them that would say, oh, wow, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm going to actually try to use this experience of yours. Most of them think they know more. They think we're archaic, we're old. Your days are gone. Those things don't exist anymore. Unfortunately, I listen to my mom. I listen to my grandma, my aunties, and it's brought me where I am today. Experience, money can't buy it. But a lot of the youth of today just needs to calm down and stop thinking that social media is everything. Life is how you live it. It's not what somebody else is living.
That's so true. So your experience, I really want to know what happened.
Well, I told a young gentleman, very amazing musician, that he needs to go back to school. Nothing to do with, how can I put it, his education background. It's actually not that. It's more for him to learn more experiences about, I don't even know how to put it. Sometimes when you just go to primary school, you think that's it. I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
I've learned it from independent sources, so it's okay. No, it's not okay. There's certain things that you learn from school, just from peers, you know, just from communicating. But a lot of the youth think they know it all. So when I said that to him, he argued with me. A year later, he went. And when he went, trust me, he came back as a different person.
Wow.
Different. His diction, his attitude, his way of thinking, mindset was totally changed. And now he lives in the UK, doing extremely, very well. You know, he even gave up music and does it part-time, you know, and he's never stopped thanking me.
Right.
Then I've got another one who basically think I'm a waste of time. All the things I'm teaching him, he knows on anyway. So, you know, he doesn't really need my help. He's still the same spot.
Same spot?
Same spot.
Nothing has changed?
Nothing has changed.
That's a sad reality. And so sometimes we say that the younger generation need to listen to the older generation.
That's all.
But you have also helped some other people like Kofi Kinata, Famiye. When we take a look at them, how they started and where they are today.
I'm so proud of these guys.
Yes.
I mean, with Famiye, he's my baby. Kofi Kinata is my passion. When I say passion, the fact that he's from where I'm from.
Yeah.
And from where he started. And he would tell you, any chance I get, and I know where he is, I will make an effort to let him know I'm here.
Right.
You know, I'm proud of him. He's taken Western region and Takrady to a level where nobody has. Forget about my generation, CK Man and Papa Yankson and those guys and Joe Laka. It's a different era. This young man has done this on his own. When I say on his own, taking Takrady on top of the map. And I'm so, so proud of him. For me, it's like somebody that, like, he calls me, I'm there. I'm like his mum.
Yeah.
I don't talk a lot about it, but, you know, recently his song, what's that song?
Very Soon.
No, the other one.
Which one?
The one before that. The one, something to do with the champagne and...
Yeah, that's a Very Soon.
That's Very Soon. Forgive me. Oh. Yeah. I did even a video with him. And somebody's been to my home. I got him to act, you know, so there's so many things that we've done together.
Right.
So I'm very proud of these guys, including Hero X. You know, a lot of these youngsters that I've come through, I call it my camp. That, you know, I'm so proud of them and I will always be proud of them. Yeah.
But you know, the fans of Kofi Kinata are actually not too happy with regards to TGM Mason not nominating him as Artist of the Year.
I would say let's leave that one because at the end of the day, it's about the public. It's not really about the awards. I could say I've put a lot of in, but Ghana's never given me an award. But it doesn't bother me. I went to Burundi to do a festival called Sika. Now, they're all from different parts of Africa, East, Western. And I went for the Ghanaians. I got there and I was like, oh my God, I'm everybody's grandmother here. And I thought, this competition, I'm not going to get anywhere. These are kids. I won. I brought the trophy home. Do you understand? And it's like, it doesn't really matter to me. It's not about the trophy. It's how you represent your country.
Right.
Yeah. So the awards really don't mean much to me. It's what the public think that matters.
So you think Kofi Kinata should not be fixated on...
No, darling, he shouldn't. He's bigger than that. I mean, we know who he is. He's bigger than that. He's cute. He's handsome. He can sing. He can rap. He's got good presence. Babe, you don't need it.
Okay. So Kofi Kinata, Paulina Odro says you don't need the awards because you are bigger than that.
Yes.
And I don't know if your fans do agree, though, or you, Kofi, you do agree that you don't need the awards. But that's quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, come on, who doesn't want an award? Everybody wants an award. But my thing is, you shouldn't fixate on it.
Right.
No need.
Right. Yeah. I love that. But do you think that we'll see some sort of growth in the music industry looking at a change of government?
I'm not into politics, to be honest with you. It's a dirty game, and I try my best to avoid it. Even when people talk to me about it, every day is politics. Everything we do is politics.
Why do you say it's a dirty game? Did you ever try it and failed, or
no.
Got attacked, or someone?
No. You can make a comment and they can take it
in a different way.
So I try my best to avoid that. And also, a lot of people don't realize that everything we do is political. Everything, even what we're doing right now, is political.
Yeah.
But we need to understand that saying your body language, everything you do, you have to be aware because somebody is going to read differently.
Yeah.
You understand?
Has it happened to you before?
Many times.
How did you
many
take it?
I either came out and said, you know what, that's a lie, or you don't know me.
Which one did you say that got people talking or misinterpreted and made you look like, you were not who you were?
Okay, I don't know if you ever watched Delay. I did an interview with her, and she came up and she said, people say you're a lesbian. And I thought that was hilarious. In fact, I ended up saying they're very stupid and they're idiots. Because if you know me, I've got 3 kids. I've had an amazing relationship with my partners. And most of all, I've been on my own for a while. I don't need a man to make me happy or another human being to make me happy. So that was very upsetting. But, I don't care. You can be who you want to be.
Yeah.
But I know who I am, so don't label me. And that's what I didn't like. Yeah.
And people came at you?
Never.
Right.
That's the most beautiful thing about it. Even though she mentioned it, nobody's approached me. I've just heard about it, but nobody ever come and say, oh, she's this and she... No, never. In fact, to be honest with you, I thank Ghanaians a lot. Because one thing I've realized, and there's nowhere I've been in Ghana here, anybody made me feel negative or made me feel uncomfortable.
Right.
I'm so proud of the way I've been accepted.
We love you.
We
love you. So you were disappointed in that question for
That's the only thing so far. I've never been anywhere. I mean, as you know, I've done Talented Kids for many years.
Yes.
Many years. And the love that I have for that program, you think I'm the one who created it, but it's just a passion with the children. And anything concerning children, I'm ready to help because they're our future. The children and the youth of today is our future. So we need to protect them, we need to be there for them, and if they are bending, we need to straighten them up. So this is the only thing I would say Ghana needs to do, all of us, because they are our future.
That's so true. And you're into acting as well?
Yes, yes, I did quite a few of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice. And I love that, you followed your passion and you are who you are and you are setting an example for a lot of young children out there. We love you so much, Pauline Odro. Before you go, I know your young ones are watching you. What do you have to say to them?
Be true to yourself. All I would say, always be true to yourself and make sure that everything you do, you believe in. And if you don't understand, ask.
Thank you so much for that. Welcome. Of course, you can go without singing. But which of the patriotic songs are you going to sing for us?
Oh, my goodness. Since everybody always know me by that.
Okay.
But you know what? I miss him every time I sing this song. But I just do a couple of lines. How about that? Snamin chen, mami bovun komobi, in common you de, obianyu wonyu se, odeya miti movun kutono. Obiara, Obotuma, Asisama.
Oh my God! That is one of the most amazing songs we have, and it's just timeless. Paulina, we love you so much. Thank you. I think this is my patriotic song. And I'm going to keep playing it all day, all day. So today, don't forget that after Prime Morning, we do have changes that will come your way at exactly 1 p.m. And today we'll be having Joyce Blessing joining us. If you want to be a part of the conversation, you can be at the studio at exactly 12:30. Take your seat and you become a part of changes. Thank you, Paulina.
Thank you.
And thank you to my co-host, KMJ at Edua Komia. My name is Roslyn Felly. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
You